ShotCallers is designed as an adult drinking game but may be viewed without consumption of alcohol. Consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to operate machinery and may cause health problems. We do not recommend misuse of alcohol, including excessive consumption, binge drinking, drinking and driving, and or underage drinking. It is the viewer's responsibility to monitor and moderate their alcohol consumption. ShotCallers cannot assume any responsibility for the effect that our content may have on people. If this stream lasts for longer than 4 hours, contact your doctor immediately. Batteries not included.
Well, hello and welcome to ShotCallers. We're here to bring you yet another action-packed evening of Major League Tag Pro action. This evening we'll be watching Tiers take on the Ghost Boosters, what promises to be quite the thriller. I'm Ron Sponson, I'm joined by Liquid, and we got Pithy as well, and together we're bringing you ShotCallers, Tag Pro's favorite drinking game.
And as you guys know by now, the drinking game rules are quite simple. Every cap is a drink of your beer that you have on hand, or perhaps a different drink, maybe if that's what you decide to go for. A nubstep, that's 2 drinks, and a shobo is a shot of whatever liquor you have on hand. Personally, I'm locked and loaded with a nice shot of Knock 12 single malt whiskey.
Ooh, excellent. I've got the Ardbeg 10 ready to go as well.
Oh, beautiful. I might have to go for one of those later.
Well, we've got an interesting lineup or a matchup this evening. Tiers coming in first, and Boostin Dynamo not far behind, coming in fourth. Cap differential, though, tells quite the story. Tiers with 73 cap differential. Woo! Quite a lot. But the statistic that they are dominating and that is the most important is players named after lewd sexual acts. Boostin Dynamo coming in with 1 intercest and Tiers with 4. And I'll let you guess which players those are.
Well, speaking of Tiers, their roster is pretty star-studded coming into this week, isn't it, Ron?
Yes, it is. Coming in on offense, we've got Goober and CCJ's mom. Goober with 75 caps. Quite a few caps there. 9.82 gasp. And OGASP, rather. And CCJ's mom, 9.45 OGASP.
Those guys have been tearing it up on offense so far this season. CCJ's mom, also known as Spjork, he's actually a former Super Bowl winner, subbed in for that final fateful Super Bowl game back in Season 10. And since then, he's had, I have to say, maybe middling success in MLTP, and this year has been a breakout year for the captain, or the former captain of Tiers. This guy, alongside Goober, they've been putting the caps together, stacking them up, and it's not just an offensive thing either. They have been stellar at playing defense when they've been called upon, getting the blocks in. Their chemistry is second to none, and that extends across the board, even to the defense.
And defense, Big Bird is coming in. 569 tags, but look at this, 28 caps. Also, quite a few caps for a defender. And Yank also, 17 caps, 592 tags, and coming with 9.08 DGAS.
So as you mentioned, both of these defenders, not only have they been putting up some really good defensive stats, they've also been putting up a lot of caps. And that's something we're starting to see from the very top teams in MLTP. Center of attention, same story there with Crippy and Frozen putting up stacks of caps. And you'll see on Boostin, it's very similar, but Tiers has been really exceedingly good at having the two-way game down, both from their defensive players and their offensive players. They all play as a unit, and that's why despite not having the highest cap diff in the league and not having necessarily the flashiest stats in the league, as you can see from these O&D gasps, they have by far the best record in the league. They won 17 of their 18 games this season. That is tied for most points ever by an MLTP team in an MLTP season. And it's no coincidence that these guys' chemistry together has been able to string along this kind of success. Now in Boostin Dynamo, we have a lot of familiar faces as well.
Yeah, and we've got JJ Poole and Viles coming in on offense, and they've got pretty close, pretty even caps here. 54 for JJ Poole, 50 for Viles, and about 9.17 OGASP.
Yes, it's funny that you mentioned that, because going into the season, people weren't too sure who was going to play the leading role on the Boostin Dynamo offense. You look at JJ Poole, the guy is a former defender, he's played defense his whole career in Tag Pro, takes an extended pause away from MLTP and comes back as an offensive player. People didn't really know what to expect. Same thing for Viles, he's been an offensive player, but more in the support role his whole career, and then took a few seasons off, came back. People weren't sure if he would be able to capture that Majors form, and together they've both been looking really solid. You look at Viles, his 50 caps betray the fact that he has been a stellar support offender on this team. This guy has been making all the plays, making sure JJ Poole can get out of base. And JJ Poole is a former defender himself. He knows how to make sure that Viles has the room it takes to pull some moves and get some caps of his own. It's a very giving relationship between these two offensive players. But I have to say, if there's a star of this team, it's on defense on Boostin Dynamo.
And that it is, and the stats show this quite clearly. Intercest coming in with 716 tags, 9.82 DGASP, and Stan coming in with quite a few tags of his own, but Intercest is really racking those up.
Absolutely. Intercest led the league in tags this season, and it's one of the highest tag tallies in an MLTP season ever. This guy, another guy who switched positions, he's entered the Ball of Fame as an offensive player and decided to give himself a little added challenge this season. Pull a leg man, switch to defense, and see if he can recapture that form, and sure enough he has. As you mentioned, 9.82 DGAS, 716 tags, to go along with 19 caps. This guy has been all over the field, and he's been carrying this team to the position they're in right now. They're the top team remaining in the East. Now his partner Stan, his tag number might not be as flashy, but he also put up 18 caps. We were talking about two-way players. Both of these teams tonight have insanely good two-way players on their rosters. And Stan, despite his lower tag stats, has been carrying the prevent on this team. So if you look at Intercept, he has, as I said, the number 1 tags in the league. His prevent stats are relatively low compared to all the other elite defenders. Now if you look at Stan, he's right up there with the best. And this is the kind of symmetry or synergy that you love to have in a defensive partnership. Each one plays to their strengths, and they help the other play to the other strengths. And it's something that we've been seeing buoying the Boostin Dynamo team into the position they're at this season. But they're going to have a perfect game, a flawless game tonight, if they're going to have a chance at taking down the reigning regular season champions Tiers.
Well, you heard about the players. Let's look at the teams. Anything that you wanted to call out about these two teams?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned the teams, because both of these teams are very balanced. They're not the types of teams that have superstars that have been carrying them. We were talking about Intercest putting up great stats, but that goes for pretty much every player on the Boostin Dynamo roster. And interestingly enough for Boostin, they're the team going into the playoffs that had the lowest or second lowest cap differential, only behind 21 Juke Street. So to be in the position they're at right now in the Foci 4, despite having such a low cap diff, I think is a testament to how resilient they've been. They're not necessarily looking to blow out their opponents. They know that a 1 cap win is the exact same as a 10 cap win. They're just looking for those wins. And with a leader like Intercest leading the line for them, he's been there before. He's been to, I believe, 3 or 4 different finals. I think it's 4. He's been to 4 different NALTP finals, including 2 Super Balls in the previous 2 seasons. And he's the kind of guy who's just a natural born winner. He's coming into this game as the underdog, but with him as the captain, you can never count out Boostin Dynamo. Now on the flip side, you've got Tiers. This is a team that's virtually identical to, I believe it was our Season 11 or Season 12 team. Only Goober is the new fresh face, but the other 3 have been playing together for a long time. A lot of chemistry there, a lot of time to build that chemistry. And it's no surprise to see them at the top of the standings. A lot of people had them there right from the draft. They knew this was going to be a dominant team, and sure enough, they've been exactly that. But this is also a team that has underperformed in the playoffs before. These guys have never actually had a taste of the Super Ball outside of Spjork, who only played in that fateful Super Ball game. They've never actually made a successful playoff run all the way to the end. So they're going to have to go up against a team that has. You look at guys like JJ Poole, he's made it to the Super Ball. Stan and Intercest, they were both in the Super Ball last season. These are guys who know what it takes to win when the going gets tough. And we saw Tiers waver a little bit last week. Coming from a 16-game win streak, they lost their very first game of the playoffs against the number 8 seed 21 Juke Street, and they nearly lost Game 3 as well. They were within 3 caps of losing before a late game comeback buoyed them into this Foci 4 matchup. So they're going to have to pick things up, pick up the pieces, and try to get some composure going into this game against Boostin, because while Boostin is the underdog on paper, this is a team and a roster that knows how to win.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting matchup, and it seems like there's some cool storylines here when you look at all the season's history on Boostin Dynamo. And, Tiers, I don't know. I don't know if you can count them out, though, even if the first game doesn't go well for them. If you look at last week, Tiers, they were having some trouble.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough situation. I'm not sure if any of you guys had the chance to tune into that game. But going into Game 3 on Cedar, they had split. They'd lost the first game in a shock loss against the number 8 seed 21 Juke Street, who 1 week prior had been blown out by Center of Attention. I think his final score was 27-2 or something like that. So to have 21 Juke Street win Game 1 against the best team in the league, nobody saw that coming. And the fact that 21 Juke Street were actually leading by 3 caps with only, 5 minutes left on Cedar, that left Tiers on the back foot, and it took, as I said, a late game. I think they scored 5 caps. in the space of 2 minutes to finally reclaim that win and make their way to the Foci 4. But that right there shows that, sometimes these playoff nerves get to new players or players who are new to this playoff scene. And as I mentioned before, Tears, they've played together for a long time, but they haven't had that much playoff experience together. Last time I don't think actually they've ever made it past the Foci 4. And so this is going to be a test. Let's see if the third time's the charm for these guys, if they can actually live up to their promise and play a solid game, a mistake-free game, pounce when they have to, and, make it count against a team that's been there before. Now, Ron, I know typically right around now is when the teams engage in the pick-ban process for maps. How does that work?
Good question. So the way that it works is the higher-seeded team will decide if they want to go first or second. So in this case, it'd be Tears. And so I don't think they've made that decision yet, but if they do, the Team A will ban one of the regular maps, and then Team B will pick one of the remaining maps. Team B then gets to... Actually, sorry.
A simpler way of putting it, rather than you guys trying to figure out what we're saying on stream, is whatever the leading team decides, if the number one seed Tears decide that they want to be the first team to ban a map, then they get to pick the maps number 2 and maps number 3, and Boostin will get to pick map number 1. So basically that's how it goes. One team gets to pick number 1, the other team gets to pick the following 2 maps. So should it go to overtime, whoever picked that overtime map is probably going to have the advantage. Now, do you have any predictions as to which teams will want to play on which maps?
Well, let's see. If I look at this write-up for the week, Tears right now, a stand-up map would be Transilio. Well, maybe not Transilio.
They have
Boostin
so many
also did
standout
well
maps.
as
This is
Transilio.
crazy.
Yeah. You want to look for maps that Tears do well at, but Boostin didn't do so hot at. So something like Scorpio kind of jumps out to me.
That's a good point. So Scorpio, for reference, in both games that they've played, Tears have 2 wins and a +13 cap differential, whereas Boostin and Dynamo split and have a -3 cap differential. So that right there could be playing it into Tears' hands if they end up having a game on Scorpio. That being said, a map where both teams have been really strong is Transilio. Both teams are 3-0 if you count their playoff games on there, and they have respective cap diffs of 18, +18 for Tears and +15 for Boostin. So that's a map that I think both teams might be looking to avoid just due to how strong the opponents are on it. Then again, you never know. I mean, these teams have played these maps a lot. Do you think that might have an impact on how good they can be?
It certainly could. Now, I do have a brief update here. It looks like that Tears will elect, unsurprisingly, to be Team A, meaning they get to pick map 2 and 3. And they also get to lead with the banning here. And so for their first ban, Tears is going to ban Cash.
The new map from last season, Cash has only been in MLTP rotation for 2 seasons, and it was the creation of many MLTP veterans. I have to mention Sheratino as well. These guys got together, made the map for the community map contest last season, and it made it back in this season. Both teams, both Tears and Boostin, have had pretty good success on this map. Both swept with a cap diff of +13 for Tears and +9 for Boostin. So I guess maybe Tears wanted to get that off the board. No more wildcards, let's stick to the established maps.
And let's see, we have another ban that just came in, and it's going to be Cedar. It's going to be banned by Boostin.
What a surprise. Boostin Dynamo, who's lost both of their games on Cedar with a cumulative cap diff of -8, as opposed to Tears, who've won all 3 of their games on Cedar with +7 total cap diff. I have no surprises there. If there were one map that Boostin wanted to ban, that would be it. So very smart move by Intercess to get rid of it right off the bat. That way Tears has no way of challenging them on their worst map.
And the first pick in here from Boostin is going to be picking Rush.
Interesting, and it seems like Tears is going for Emerald. 2 very different maps. Rush is very much a patient map. It's one of those maps where you'll see a lot of hold time. Players tend to have caps after long holds. Whereas on Emerald, it's so much more chaotic than Rush. It's the kind of map where you'll have flurries of caps. The caps come off of really short grabs, and pretty much anything can happen in base. So I'm liking this. These 2 maps are going to be guaranteed played tonight. For Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1 will be Rush, Game 2 will be Emerald. That's stuff I'm looking forward to.
And here we have Tears is actually going to ban Scorpio. Interesting.
Wow, interesting. we were talking about Scorpio as a potential choice for Tears, as they have a plus 13 cap diff and Boostin has minus 9. It seems Tears has taken it off the table. Maybe they're not too confident in their scrims so far on it this season, but whatever the reason may be, it's definitely coming as a surprise to me.
Another ban here, Go Fuck Yourself, is banned by Boostin.
By the way, Max W, if you're watching, we apologize. If the map were named something else, we would call it that. Hopefully your kid isn't too affected by this swearing on stream. But yeah, Jiffy, that was the map, Snacks map creation for the community map contest this season. And it's a map that Boostin also has a negative cap differential on, one of the 4 that they have a negative cap diff. And so, once again, not really surprised. We're seeing the newer maps get banned, sticking to the classics like Rush and Emerald, who've spent 3 or 4 seasons in MLTP rotations, and that these players are more confident with. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, to see Transilio as the last map, the crown on this map cake, where you get both teams with probably about 6 seasons of experience on this. It would be beautiful to see.
And let's see, Tears is going to pick Jardum.
Fantastic! Oh my god, I'm so happy they picked Jardum. Jardum is just like Emerald, non-stop action. I think last time we streamed a game on Jardum, there were 27 caps between both teams. So that right there is something I really hope this game goes to game 3, because Jardum is such a treat to watch.
And now we're getting the final readies, but man, looks like we got some good maps that we're going to be playing this evening. Starting with Rush will be the first one. Yeah,
we got Rush, Emerald, Jardum, a lot of action in those latter 2 maps, and Rush should be a good test of stability. I've rewatched the game tapes from the early season game between Tears and Center of Attention, and Tears absolutely dominated Center of Attention on that map. The game ended up going to overtime thanks to a late comeback from Center of Attention, but even in overtime, Tears ended up taking a commanding 9-3 lead. So that right there is something that Tears is going to be looking to recreate coming up against another one of the top teams in the league in Boostin Dynamo. And I mean, most of their success, I think, especially on a map like Rush, comes from composure. There's only 2 power-ups and they're in a corner, and they're outside of base. That plays a big role. And just capitalizing on mistakes. It's the kind of map where you can't afford to make too many mistakes because of all the spikes. You can easily get rid of the flag carrier if you make 1 additional spike. That's almost a guaranteed cap for the opponents. This is the kind of map where it's very unforgiving.
And we're just about ready to start the game. I want to make a quick mention that we have your last chance at getting in the Jump Cup Halftime Challenge, at least before the Super Bowl. So if you'd like to participate, it's our version of beer pong that you, the viewer, can participate in. We're going to be picking 4 lucky viewers from chat. You need to first follow the channel and then type !jump in chat, and we're going to be picking 4 random players to be playing in, and the top 4 will get to play in the Super Bowl.
That's pretty exciting indeed. As Ron was saying, next week is the Super Bowl, so if you want a chance at getting into that top 4 and being live on stream at the Super Bowl halftime show, now is your chance. Now is your last chance to participate in this Jump Cup challenge. Try to get drunk on pups. If this coin tower has you bored, Jump Cup is the solution. Once again, recreating these mechanics from the birthday event and using them on stream. Hopefully, if you guys haven't had the chance to try it, this is your golden opportunity to make it count. Now, the teams are finally going to get into group after a bit of a misfire last time around. Let's hope it works a bit better this time. It seems like it has.
Yeah, I think there may have been a mix-up on maps, but here we are, about ready to start the game, just moments away. First game of the evening is going to be Rush.
So, Ron, is there any player to watch for you going into game 1?
Let's see. I'm going to be watching Intercest. I think it'll be interesting to see how well he can work with his teammate and keep that flag in base and put a stop to what is a pretty dominant offense here from Tears.
As we were mentioning in the pregame, Stan has been entrusted with most of the prevent duties, but Goober is out past 3, and Viles is blocked out. Goober is going to get the first cap of the evening, a mere 25 seconds into the game, as Stan and Intercest are fooled by a beautiful handoff, and now Intercest coming the other way. Can he get a cap up for his team? Fools Big Bird into the boost. He's going to go for the top boost. Going to go around, and CCJ's mom, or Spjork, makes a great play and saves that cap from happening.
Unbelievable. Looked like we almost had 2 back-to-back caps in the first minute, which is usually not very full of action. Very interesting to see. I think this is going to be foretelling of this match tonight. It looks like we've got quite the match set up here. First round of power-ups coming up. We're seeing many of the players positioned for them, but not Goober. He's going to see if he can get an odd one-off grab. CCJ's mom with a bit of a block as well. Goober coming in with that tag pro. JJ Poole's got to stay alive here, and he has about a few seconds, but boy, is he going to have to buy a few more. CCJ's mom coming in and intercest. Wow.
Big Bird with the big snipe takes care of business and gets his team a 2-cap lead. What a play by Tears. Great tag pro lead. Fantastic personal individual skill from Big Bird to get that return just in time for the cap to come in.
Holy cow, Tears is off to a quick start, but Stan looking to turn the tides, and wow, ducks under the boost from Yank. He's got the flag coming towards base. Big Bird is having trouble. JJ Poole getting the return. Watch for the boost block. He doesn't need it, or wise decision here from JJ Poole. And now Boostin halves the lead, or the deficit here to just 1.
This game is off to a flaming start. 3 caps in the first 2 minutes. I was not expecting this going into Rush, which tends to be a slower paced map. Now, Spjork captures the tag pro. He's going to try to lead Goober into a bit of a handoff, or not handoff, a tag pro lead situation, and he gets the first tag. Viles has to stay alive here, and he has to stay alive for a long while as Spjork's tag pro still has many seconds left on it. And Goober, oh my god! Goober with the beautiful nub step, but intercept steals the cap, and now Yank is about to get returned by Stan, but manages to catch that boost, and he goes the other way.
Goober helping with a few blocks here. JJ Poole with the flag, and there's a kiss, and Intercess was in base. I don't know if that was the best kiss. Now Stan's going to be up past 2. Boostin looking to tie it up here. Intercess with the block. JJ Poole as well. Stan trying to sneak it in and almost pulls it off, but Yank is there to get the return and keep them at bay at least for a few moments more.
Yank is going to try to yank his way out of base, and it seems like he might. Viles closes him down, but Yank creates enough space for Big Bird on the handoff, and Intercess shuts the door. Now, they're past 3. JJ Poole unfortunately gets blocked by Viles in what looked like a good capping opportunity. Now, in their previous capping opportunity, Stan came into base and JJ Poole was looking to secure the block on the Tears offensive defense. It would have been a cap, but unfortunately for him, the Tears player was too slippery, escaped the block, and Tears once again playing really good offensive defense, managing to keep their lead after a nice little assault by BB.
And Yank getting that return as well. We haven't been seeing those defenses, and as soon as I say that, both teams keeping that flag in base and slowing it down a little bit. Look
and
for
Yank
these defenders
fully intercept into the spike as well. That's something we've been seeing a lot. Many spikes, and 2 of them have led to caps so far. We were talking about how spikes would be a game changer on this map. This is the most spiky map in MLTP right now, and it's showing just as Spjork is able to pull some nice jukes, and jukes past 2. Does he have the blocks? Viles comes in with some great offensive defense, but now Goober all of a sudden boosts past all 4 Boostin Dynamo offensive players and somehow manages to extend his team's lead to 2.
Goober using that speed and angle beautifully, but now Viles somehow just comes up and under and around and into the cap, and now JJ Poole looking to drive the nail home. Yes, indeed, Boostin with 2 very quick caps to take the lead and tie it, but now they're looking to take the lead. Viles coming into base. Can they get it? Yes! Yank with a bit of a misstep, and now Boostin has taken the lead with 3 very quick caps.
Boostin Dynamo absolutely dynamite on this play. First off, a great set of grabs, but also blocks Stan with that beautiful spike. These guys are using these boosts fantastically, and this is back and forth action right here. We've got both Boostin and Tears capitalizing on nearly every single mistake the other team's making. I mean, none of these teams are perfect, but I've never seen a game where every mistake is so ruthlessly punished.
Absolutely exemplary performance here at being able to capitalize on these mistakes and the power-ups here. Tears with a tag pro and a juke juice, and it looks like they're going to try to use this on offense. And yes, beautiful job here. Goober's going to be able to get out. Now they're looking to tie it up. A bit of a spike at the top of the map, and just an excellent lead into base here. And that was textbook. Now Tears is going to tie it yet again, back and forth.
Tears getting what I believe is their 3rd tag pro of the game and makes no mistake, using it perfectly, leading the flag carrier into base, and some great blocks on the defense, using the boost to their advantage and stifling any chance at JJ Poole saving that cap. That right there, a veteran play using the tag pro. Now Boostin must be feeling a bit hard done by here. We've got a bunch of power-ups, none of them have been tag pros yet, and now Goober is out past 1, maybe 2. Intercess staying ahead, but now Goober makes his way into base, and a kiss is denied. Goober once again takes advantage, takes the lead for his team, and Intercess foolishly ignoring the kiss and ends up paying for it.
And now Tears back on top. Another round of power-ups. Intercess picking up this Juke Juice and not able to get out of base. It looks like things have slowed down temporarily, but Intercess is out with the Juke Juice and the flag, and he has the Jukes as well, and Goober's got blocked. But CCH's mom, brilliant snipe from behind to get that return.
Usually Boostin is regarded as one of the most cohesive units in the league. That right there was a poor block read by Intercess. He's the kind of player who doesn't make these types of mistakes, so you have to imagine it must have been down to poor communication on defense, suggesting they were blocking the other way. That's not something you often see from this Boostin team, but it might end up costing them, as with 3 minutes left, they're still down by 1 cap.
CJ's mom with the flag here, getting returned, and stand. Now we're seeing a bit more desperation grabs here. Both teams looking to establish some dominance.
He's got Vials trying to contain him, and JJ Poole comes out in a last-ditch attempt at saving the cap, and he does. Great offensive defense by JJ Poole.
Power-ups coming up here. There's a tag pro. Yank's going to be able to pick that out.
Of course
sticking true to his name.
But Yank choosing to take it back on defense, and Goober doesn't care. He makes his way out with a swift juke, and once again gets past Stand. What the heck? Goober comes into base, and once again extends his lead, Cap's lead to 2, team's lead to 2. And Goober with a beautiful solo effort denies the help of the tag pro, and jukes his way past all 3 Boostin Dynamo players in his way.
Somebody call room service, because Goober is hungry for caps. That is all 6 caps from the team scored by Goober. But Yank, just as I say this, the commentator's curse, going to take at least 1 cap of his own. But right now, Tears are just starting to just bring the score up. That's a drink for those of you following along at home.
That is probably the biggest meta play I've ever seen. Spjork absolutely baits JJ Poole out of position. I hope I'm getting these names right and I'm not misattributing blame. But that was a fantastic play. This is the kind of stuff you only see in MLTP when you're thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead. JJ Poole was hoping, or expecting Spjork to boost him out of the way, so he gets in the way of the boost, and Spjork decides, you know what, I'm not going to boost you. And then all of a sudden, JJ Poole is 6 tiles out of position and out of reach from that cap. And if I said the wrong players, I apologize. That was a fantastic play by whatever Tears defender was in base there on the boost. Just absolutely baits JJ Poole out of position and lets his team extend the lead to 3 after they were down by 1, 4 straight caps. Gets Tears back in the driver's seat here.
1 minute and 20 seconds left to go, and Tears with a decisive 3-cap lead, looking to extend it further. JJ Poole with the flag, and he's got a potential to get out here. He's got to get past Big Bird. He's got the boost. Brilliant boost from JJ Poole, boosting past the players, getting some blocks help, but can't quite get it. Goober, you've got to call him out here with an excellent offensive defense.
Nice attempt by JJ Poole, but something I've seen all game long so far from the very first minute is Tears have been playing. Just a second, Tears gets another tag pro, their 5th tag pro of the game. Now bear in mind, they've captured only 11 power-ups. That means nearly half of them have been tag pros. Now this time around, Boostin Dynamo was able to grab the flag before the tag pro makes its way to base. Great play to prevent the tag pro from having the kind of effectiveness that it's had in previous plays, and they're going to have to try to get a cap in here before the end of the half with 30 seconds left, try to get back the momentum just in time for the second half.
Oof. There's those spikes that you were talking about again, and now Goober with the flag looking to... He's pretty elusive. I don't see anyone applying any pressure. If they need a cap, they've got to apply more pressure, and actually it's dangerous right now. Yank on anti. Intercess has to be very careful here, but it looks like Stan is coming in and helping as well.
Intercess somehow jukes his way past. Can he nubstep CTGA's mom? He tries, he's giving it his best shot, but it's not going to work as time winds down. And one thing we saw right there from Boostin Dynamo was playing the anti-regrab. Something I wasn't too convinced was how they were playing the anti-regrab. They had only 1 chaser, 1 on regrab, and 1 flag carrier not looking for the kiss. Typically, if you're going to play anti, either the flag carrier looks for a kiss for a handoff, or the guy gets off a re and starts chasing. And we didn't see either of those things happening, so I'm not quite sure how they were planning on capping there, but either way, it didn't really work out. Now, speaking of working out, let's talk about Goober for a second. How was his game? How good was he in this number 1 half?
Holy cow, he got the first 6 caps, one after another, and just started helping his team, it looked a bit dubious for them, right? Because we saw, sorry, was it Boostin that came in and got 3 caps in a short amount of time?
Yeah.
But yet again, we see when faced with the adversity, Tears can come in and just start pounding away at it. And now they're coming into half 2 with a 3 cap lead, and it's partly, or a lot of it is because of Goober.
Man, this guy, I have to say, I haven't seen him play all season long, except for in replays. He's been looking really solid, but to finally see him live and see this kind of decision-making from a player who wasn't really regarded by many as elite going into this season, he absolutely has changed everyone's opinion with his, I believe it was, did you say 75 caps this season in the regular season? I believe it was, yeah, 75 caps, 269 tags. And in week 1 of the playoffs, in the equidistant 8, he put up another 10. Now he's got 6.5 number 1 tonight. That brings him up to 91 caps in, what would that be, 11 weeks of action? Barely 11 weeks of action. This guy is on fire. He's not the kind of guy you want to mess with. And if you're Intercess and Stan, you're trying to shut him down. Because if you can shut him down, then it's going to make it really hard for Tears to keep extending this lead. And it gives a shot at Boostin to get back into this game. Something you desperately need.
Are you calling the shot here?
2, 1.
Well, I am the shot caller after all.
And here we are to start at 3 cap deficit for Boostin, but we saw it just in the first half, 3 caps. They scored that in about 30 seconds. And now Tears, though, looking to extend it to 4. Goober with the flag coming into base, and he's got a boost. Gonna have to be creative. Oh, man, and almost pulls it off.
Goober sees the angles, and now CCJ is able to get Stan out of position on the anti-read. They've got 3v2 blocks in base, but Intercess aggressively comes out and plays it really well. Now he's past 3. Viles has got to use this block properly and get in position. Unfortunately, he can't do it in time for Intercess. Now Intercess has 3 to beat in base. JJ Poole gets soloed by Big Bird, who I have to say is kind of the unheralded hero of Tears so far. Big Bird, we haven't mentioned his name much, but he has been on fire. He has hardly put a foot wrong tonight in this game, and once again, he shows that in moments where you need a clutch play, he's there to deliver. Oh, just a second. Guess what Tears got in the power-up lottery?
Hey.
Is it a tag throw? Who would have seen that coming? And Intercess nullifies the tag throw entirely with a fantastic boost.
JJ Poole there excellently closing in. He really committed to that. He knew he had him contained. And Goober kind of screwing it up, kind of not, though. Yeah, maybe not. Looks like he's going to be out with the flag, and Tears looking to extend the lead. We got another one of those treacherous spikes and pushing forward to get the return.
I love what Spjork is thinking there. Try to bait them out of position on the offensive defense and then hit the boost route and go around. And now poor Intercess all alone on anti-re. It works 1v1, but 2v1 makes it a bit harder. And Goober, what? Squeaks through with the solo play. Just absolutely straight lines the entire Boostin Dynamo team, and CCJ coming in for a second one. Unfortunately, not able to double that cap train. But Goober once again puts his 7th cap up to this game and just shows the guy's an elite player. What the heck? I've said what the heck twice this game. I think that's the most what the heck moment. Who says what the heck these days?
You do.
And Viles has to stay alive.
You might say it again.
York is on the flag tile, practically gets the cap, and then Viles turns the tables and gets the cap for Boostin.
I think is it an upstep? Let's go to the replay. Yes, indeed. No. JJ Poole playing some real aggressive anti-re. So not really an upstep. Very good anti-re, good timing, and it allowed Boostin to take one of those caps back.
Yeah, what the heck? What the heck is up with all these anti-res?
What the heck?
And Yank is coming into base. He tries to bait Intercess into the wrong direction, but Viles is there for the contain. That's something that we saw was missed in the past. What led to Goober's straight line cap was Intercess and Stan refusing to go 2v1 on Goober for the contain, or rather on CCJ for the contain. They were afraid of the Goober handoff, and that ended up costing them as the Tears was able to cap off that play. They're not making the same mistake twice. They're going for the 2 contains, even though it opens up the possibility for the handoff. It's just something that you have to do against its team. And JJ Poole with a really risky backwards boost. Big Bird able to get his way past Stan on the offensive defense, pulling some moves, but Intercess will not get fooled.
Now Intercess is coming in with the flag. Big Bird coming from behind. There's the spike. CCJ's mom, Spork rather, barely got the return, but now JJ coming in hot. And no.
I don't think that was the intended outcome of that play for JJ Poole. Unfortunately for him, the position of the blocks wasn't in place for him to use the boost, but something I've seen a lot from JJ Poole so far this game is some hesitation to use these boosts and absolutely force his way into base, something like what we saw Goober do the entire half number one, and just to start off the second half, he's been reckless and just coming in and ruthlessly making Boostin Dynamo think on their feet on offensive defense. JJ Poole is more content taking the slow route, calculating his way into base, but against a Tiers team that can do quick maps, then it's not the kind of stuff that you want to be doing. You don't want to give them the opportunity to set up on offensive defense. You just got to push it in and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's what I always try to do. Now Goober with the flag. He's got a boost, but Intercess getting the return. But stealing the flag and the boost, and Stan with the blocks, and Intercess with the cap. And now it's a 2-cap game, 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Boostin still proves that they have a horse in this race.
That is a vintage Intercess move. It's the silkiest regrab that I've seen this entire game. But just a second, Goober potentially out past forward, tries to break JJ Poole's ankles, but JJ Poole shuts him down, and we're back to a reset for both teams. To get back to what I was saying, Intercess with the silky smooth handoff, able to get that flag and just hit all the boosts, all the corners, all the right keys, and makes his way into base before anyone was able to say anything. Just gets his team back on the board and back into this game.
In the right keys at the right time, that's all Tech Pro is about, if you really think about it. Vile's going to end up kissing and stand with the flag and doubling back. He knows that boost is spotting and just about got above Spjork there, but Spjork sticking back and getting that return.
Really good play by Stan, typically a defender, but we mentioned he's capped 18 times in the regular season, so he's no stranger to getting caps on the board for his team. I think he was going for the corner boost there, but just nearly missed the corner, or barely missed the corner rather. And once again, another spike by Boostin. This might end up costing them, and it does. Yank comes in, gonna get his first cap of the game, and we're back to a 3-cap lead for Tiers.
3 caps and 4 minutes to go, and maybe making a 5. Intercess just narrowly getting that one.
Spjork looked like he might have had a chance to cap there. As both Boostin Dynamo players were out of position, Stan looked like he might have had a shot to catch up on the play, but needless play as JJ Poole ends up rolling bombing Viles into a return, and now Goober has to stay alive. Stan would be wise to stay on regrab as Goober's lining up that boost, and Intercess going to try to go for the solo as Viles is leading JJ Poole into base. Now Viles' tag pro runs out, and Goober is still out of reach from Boostin. If I were Viles, I would just go back to the chasing game.
Wow. Big Bird was just sitting there blocking for Goober. He knew that his team did not have regrab, and so he pulled off and actually blocked for his flag carrier. Interesting strategy there, and it paid off.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, Big Bird doing the small things right, and Big Bird doing the big things right with that snipe. That is the kind of stuff that we love to see from our unheralded D player. He might be the guy to win the best two-way ball this season. If it's not Crippy, it's got to be him. And coming in is JJ Poole. He's got 2 blocks. He squeaks his way past.
What?
He nearly makes it through, but Goober with a big offensive defense play now picks up the flag. Yank picks up a tag pro, and we're back in action.
And Tiers looking to pick up a cap. Goober coming into base off the wall. What? Goober just about pulled it off and almost a snipe, but Viles there with the tag pro. There's going to be a kiss. Tag pro on each side of the map. Yank there, and he's going to pull the flag. JJ Poole is out past a few into base, looking to make it a 2-cap game. Almost can't quite do it. Yes, he can. No, he can't. And now still 3 caps to go after that amazing series of events. We've got quite an action-packed half here.
Well, we're out of breath. All we need right now is a shot to get us in this game. JJ Poole with some really silky moves. He's playing the meta game. He's making the jukes that he knows the other team is not expecting. He's not going for the straight line play. He's not going for the micro jukes. He's just in the Tiers defender's head. Unfortunately for him, he can't squeeze it into base the way we're talking about. Every time he comes into base, he slows down and tries to take the long route. Even there, he went to he went to bounce off the bottom wall to come in for the cap instead of just coming straight in and rounding the blockers. That might have cost him a cap, and that might be costly, as with 2 minutes left, they're still 3 caps behind on the map that they chose.
Here we go, JJ Poole. Oh no, that just backfired, and now Tears is threatening, but somehow Intercess able to get that return and the flag, and he's gonna boost past 3. Watch the boost block from Stan. Oh no.
And Viles almost gets the snipe. He had to get the snipe, and he misses the snipe. He's able to follow up, but now it's a bit too late. The regrab train has already started. And Intercess, let's go back to that play. Let's rewind. He was able to pick up the boost off a pixel and then immediately position himself into position on offensive defense to prevent this game from getting into a 4-cap lead. That right there is a sign of a player trying to carry his team, trying to will his team to victory. And Viles looked like he had an opportunity, a little pocket there to do the juke. He didn't believe, and now it's Stan's turn to take a crack at it.
And we've got a rolling bomb. Stan coming into base. Viles has this tag bro. Can he open something up in time? I don't think so. We see Tears clearly communicating, closing in very quickly, and it looks like synchronized swimming out there as they get the cap, and now it's just a 2-cap game, but 30 seconds to go. They've got to move quickly if they want a chance at this one. JJ Poole with the flag. Goober there and does not allow himself to get blocked out.
JJ Poole makes the wrong juke, but Viles is coming in. He's going to take a shot, and with 26 seconds left, you need 2 caps if you're boosting. And Intercess gets shut down, soloed by Spjork. Phenomenal play by the captain. Wait, is he the captain? Is it Yank? Who's the captain? Doesn't matter. Phenomenal play by Spjork to finally shut down this last wave of Boostin Dynamo offense. And with 9 seconds left, you gotta believe Tears has secured a win in Game 1 of the Foci 4.
3, 2.
Final seconds ticking off the clock here, and Tears handily winning this one in a game that was actually back and forth a few times, and they only won it by 2 caps.
And look at Intercess. Nobody has more than 11 returns. He comes up with 20 to go along with this cap. Unfortunately, it's not enough for his team to get back into it. They cut down the lead to 2, but it does remain a 2-cap lead as Tears take game number 1 on Rush. Now going into game number 2, we will be gearing up for a lot of excitement. But before that, I think we've got a lot of excitement here on stream for you guys.
That's right. The Jump Cup Halftime Challenge is about to begin. We've got our winners here, Balenka, Adarsh, Bright, and Lamatron. All 4 will be competing for the chance to play next week in the Super Bowl and be seen by hundreds of players or hundreds of viewers. Right now, we're picking the top 4, so 276 is the number to beat if you want a chance at playing, or not even a chance. If you beat 276 tonight, you'll be playing in the Super Bowl.
So we got 4 contestants, Balenka, Lamatron, Adarsh, and Bright. Now, Adarsh and Lamatron and Balenka, all 3 of them have scored top scores on our Jump Cup leaderboard so far this season. The score to beat right now is 356. Bright is the newest addition to this Jump Cup roster. Let's see if he can take on these pros and try to get onto the top 4 to get a chance to play on stream on the Super Bowl.
And we saw last week players starting to kind of mess with each other. We were
we had Moba
leading the charge there.
Moba, our good old friend, decided to be an agent of chaos on Jump Cup and mess people's pint runs up, and that really shakes things up a bit on this map. This is a map where if you get that lineup right for the pint glass at the very end, you can get a lot of gulps and just start racking up those power ups like crazy. But as soon as you have someone who's out there to mess with the other players, it makes for a much more exciting race.
Woof! A lot of rolling bombs there. Lamatron just slightly off the mark, and Adarsh with a few pity pups able to take the lead.
And he's going to go for the more pity pups. He's able to get that bottom grail a couple times, and sometimes that little solo cup is all you need.
Yeah, maybe he'll win this one off of those, but Balenka is going to go and get the full sip and maybe a second. Yes, indeed. Very boisterous run there.
And then goes for a little micro sip at the very end. No shame in the micro sip. A sip's a sip. It's not about the size of the sip, it's how you use it.
You took a chaser, that's all it was.
And every single player spikes. This is beautiful. We've never seen this before, all 4 players spawning at the same time. This is a first in the very last week of Jump Cup where anyone's allowed. This is I'm excited to see this. And Balenka and Lamatron make their way to the end, and Balenka somehow survives. Adarsh is going to go in and boosts Lamatron away. This is a very competitive race.
Wow, Palenka back and forth off of these walls, and now Bright in the way, and that's going to hurt him. Right now, Palenka with the lead, but Adarsh quick behind, looking to try to take it here.
And Adarsh takes the lead, 137 power-ups for him, 131 for Palenka, and with 40 seconds left, it's not looking very optimistic for Bright if he wants to get onto this leaderboard. He's only at 62.
I'm sorry, but even Adarsh is going to have trouble. He's got to really start getting some of these. Oh, no! Lamatron in the way, and that might have been the kiss of death.
And the top score right now is 175 with 20 seconds left. Everyone gets bombed away from the cup, from the pint, rather. And this is some non-stop action on Jump Cup tonight.
Palenka getting a few here, and now it's Palenka head-to-head against Adarsh, but Adarsh is just, he's overstaying his welcome in that beer glass.
Adarsh able to get up to 210 power-ups, Palenka second at 175, followed by Lamatron and Bright at 80 and 79 respectively. I have to say, this is probably the most most entertaining Jump Cup event I've seen all season long. Unfortunately, it hasn't been the most prolific, and so we will be remaining with our current top four. Who are those, Ron?
Obama, Lamatron, Frozen, and Ball Don't Lie. So I guess Lamatron is at least still going to make it. So hopefully he performs better next week.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be hard next week when you got all the best players playing against you. This is what you see. You start seeing everyone messing with each other. It changes the game. What I'm most excited to see is if Frozen makes it to the Super Bowl, will he take the halftime off to play Jump Cup? That would be a first.
Yeah, if he doesn't, Active is the alternate who's sitting one below him.
I do want to call it Adarsh, by the way.
Adarsh. Oh, well, there you go.
But either way, we will find out next week, so make sure you tune in to check out this Jump Cup final in the Super Bowl stream.
Yeah, I was going to mention that he was going to get at least 8th place, Adarsh was, but yeah, if you got 5th, there you go. So yeah, check it out, and if you guys want to get some pointers, any of those 4 players that'll be playing, replays will be available at youtube.com/Ron Sponson after the match. So make sure you go there and study up. Take some notes, too.
So now going into game 2, are you still on your first beer, Ron? What are you drinking?
I just cracked the second, and the answer changes because I started with the tried but true Two-Hearted Ale from Bell's Brewery and have now moved back onto the Bell's. Wow, are they both Bell's? Yes, they are. But Bell's Hop Slam Ale.
Well, I guess you have a type. I'm going for this Creemore Springs tonight. Funny anecdote, one of my family friends named his dog Creemore. I'm sure you can figure out why. His favorite beer, and so I figured I'd give that one a shot tonight. Not too bad. It's a sippable beer for a game like this. But I have to say, most of my attention has been on the action tonight. We've seen a lot of back and forths. Both teams have taken the lead in game 1, and this kind of swing is what you love to see from 2 of the top teams in MLTP. Now, if you're Boostin, going into game 2, this is a must-win situation. This could be their last game in MLTP this season. What are you telling your team if you're Intercess?
Pray to the RNG gods and get some more goddamn tag pros.
Yeah, that's something that's been hurting them, but I think personally what I've seen is they did get a fair share of power-ups at the very end. I think they might have gotten 3 tag pros, and they didn't get a single cap off of them. Wait, that might not be entirely true. I think Viles was able to secure 1 cap with his tag pro, but it's not on the same level as Tears, who I believe have 3 or 4 caps directly resulting from their use of tag pros. So pray to the RNG gods, and pray that your team's able to utilize those power-ups when you get them, would be what I'd be telling my team.
Now, who chose this map?
I believe it was
right?
Tears, yeah. This is the second game. And should Tears lose, they're on another one of their map choices next to Jardim. And personally, I really hope that they lose, even if it means they have to score 5 own caps at the very end of the game, just so that we get to see Jardim.
That would be good. Starting things off now, the start of the first game was pretty action-packed. So we'll see if that holds true on Emerald. So far, not so. What is going on with Viles and Goober at the top of the map?
This is the story of the game so far. Viles and Goober spending 30 seconds. You can tell that they're in love over there. You know, it's Valentine's Day just came by. They're just enjoying their time. No need to rush it.
My question is, you're spending 30 seconds up there. I mean, you've kind of committed. Why not say another 30 and just keep vying for that power-up spot?
Well, It almost looked like Viles might have been able to come in with a cap, but if not for Spjork's beautiful offensive defense. And we're seeing a lot of aggressive OD from both of these players. This is something that you don't always see at the top level. It's typically, the common advice is you want to stay close to your flag, and that ends up hurting Boostin Dynamo as Spjork is able to come right in, and both Boostin players being a bit too aggressive. That ends up hurting them in the end, and they're now down a cap in their must-win game.
Spjork with the wraparound cap around, getting the first score of the evening on this map for Tears. And now Goober is, I think he probably feels a little insulted, actually. He's got to get on the board. And so he's trying to do just that. CJ's mom getting juked.
Getting juked indeed. And Stan almost, that would have been insane if you were able to pick up that little pixel on the flag and go for the 0.25 cap. Spjork trying to squeeze past JJ Pool, but JJ Pool is having none of it.
And now, let's see, no power-ups yet. JJ Pool and Viles not on the same page there and end up nullifying each other's momentum and getting setting it up for easy returns.
And a good play by Yank, misses the flag but gets the spike, and now he's past 2, might be past 3. Viles gets JJ Pool out of the way. Yank is just going to get by for that power-up. Loses it to JJ Pool. And now Boostin sweep both of the juke juices. Let's see if they can put them to good use.
JJ Pool, oh man, couldn't quite pull it off. And now Spjork coming in, trying to get the second cap, coming in quickly. Goober trying to do something with the bomb. It was risky, but it pays off.
Man, Boostin getting way too aggressive right now. They did not have to boost into the flag there, but they weren't sure what else to do. And so they end up losing at their own game, and now they're down 2 caps.
Yikes, this is not what they needed, losing that first game. They were hoping to establish some sort of momentum here, but Tears has been keeping the fire to the flame.
Yeah, it's
famous saying.
Tears
feet to the fire,
flame.
maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, what the heck are these expressions anyway? Now, going into the third pup round, Boostin's going to hope for attack throw, and Tears is going to hope for a single power-up. Right now, they're losing the power-up battle 3-1. Let's make it 4-2 right now as they split this round. And Viles is actually able to secure that tag throw. Let's see if he and JJ Pool are able to do anything with it. Big Bird in a great position, ends up getting returned and intercessed with a double tap. And that looks like it's a good capping opportunity, but Spjork gets the snipe, and it might be going the other way. Spjork saves the day and keeps his team's lead intact at 2.
And with the bomb, CCJ's mom, here he goes. JJ Pool with the boost, intercepts with the boost block, Yank with the last second pull, and he's contained. No, he's not. At the last second, he's able to slip out. JJ Pool with a couple moves. Viles getting antied, but going to be able to get that return anyways. And there's the kiss to cap things off.
Boy, it's the intercess show tonight. This guy has been all over the place, whether it's offense or defense, double tapping rolling bombs, or setting up the perfect blocks. This guy is doing his best to get his team back in the game, but sometimes great is not good enough. And Stan is going to be vying for that power-up, misses it, and gets returned. Now, Inter and Stan have to keep this flag in base if they want any chance at recapturing the lead. JJ out past 3. Past 2 rather. He's able to secure the boost, and he's got the blocks. Can he force it in? He does! JJ Pool finally forces it in and cuts the lead down to 1. Great play by JJ as Viles is now out past 2. He's got the boost. He boosts slow, and a great offensive defense play by Big Bird keeps the Boostin Dynamo team at bay.
He might have been able to split the blue C there, but no, Goober is going to get that. It was a gratuitous timing on that return and get the cap and take that cap right back. Now they've got that 2-cap lead. Intercess is gonna, what?
Imagine.
Almost a embarrassing nub step there. And now Anti. Tears is playing a bit reckless right now. It seems like they're getting cocky and yeah, maybe it's going to work out for them. They got this 2-cap lead. They can afford to play a bit more defensively like that.
2 rolling bomb. The Yank steals it from Big Bird. I guess he figures that the rolling bomb is best used on regrab rather than as a flag carrying Big Bird, who's I believe capped 28 times this season. Doesn't need no rolling bomb. And JJ Pool and Intercess double teaming. And unfortunately for them, Goober uses the rolling bomb, stays alive after Viles is able to get that first solo, and Goober somehow jukes right past Intercess and Viles. And it looks like he might be in a good capping up position right now, just as to say that he gets returned.
And now Stan and base, Intercess coming in as well. Wow, just barely getting gated there. Yank has a bit of help from Big Bird, and now JJ Poole. We've seen this before. JJ Poole knows when he has it and then just commits 100%, and getting those solos returns like that, very good.
This is gearing up for another round of power-ups. Right now, it's been pretty even so far in terms of power-up distribution, and JJ and Viles both get tag pros. If I were them, I'd be splitting them 1 on O, 1 on D, but it looks like they're going to take them both on offense, and now they have a tag pro lead, and Tears is able to play the boost game and get JJ Poole out of the way. Unfortunately for Boostin, once again, a tag pro not able to make it count, and it looks like that might end up costing them in the end, as Viles' tag pro is about to run out, and he goes flag pro.
And Boostin looking to cut down on this 2-cap deficit. Great handoff, and now Intercess with the boost. He's got 2 players to beat. Off the wall, got the blocks. Intercess has the cap, and now it's just a 1-cap game. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this first half. Boostin proving they still have a bit of fight left in them, but CCJ's mom in the right place at the right time.
Viles trying to get crafty with CCGA's mom, but that sounded so wrong.
Don't get crafty with the moms.
Yeah, please. Anyone but the moms. But unfortunately for him, boost right into Spjork, and that ends up costing him. As Goober is able to secure that rolling bomb, this could be huge with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the half number 1.
Viles with the flag, got a chance to tie the game here, and now he has 3 players to beat, but he's got a few blockers in base, trying for the wraparound, cap around, can't quite pull it off, and now Goober's out with the flag, and the boost unfortunately backfires on him, and he's going to get returned, and yet again, Boostin looking to tie things up. Can they do it? Coming into base, got a bomb, going to use it, and yeah, he's going to have to take a little lap here, or maybe even go for the kiss, which is not wise with Goober on anti.
Bit of a suicide pact there. Bomb backfired. It looked like it was going to be a good play. Typically, the bomb is an agent of chaos on this map. Unfortunately for them, the agent was a double agent. It was working for the other team. And now Big Bird is coming in, nearly gets a cap of his own to restore that 2-cap lead. But as it stands right now, Tears is leading 3-2. And another kiss, a bit more unexpected this time. Now Spjork is coming into base. Stan misses the snipe, and JJ Poole is blocked out. This is a 4-2 game with 2 minutes left. And Viles picks up his 3rd tag pro of the game. I believe this is the 4th for Boostin. The RNG gods have been smiling upon Boostin, but Boostin has not been smiling upon their use of tag pros. And once again, Viles finds himself all alone in base with the tag pro, decides to go flag pro.
JJ Poole with a great boost spike here. Intercess engaging Goober at the right time, and that's going to be another cap for Boostin. And yet again, we have ourselves a 1-cap game. Boostin looking to fight for their season here, down by 1 with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. And Goober is going to have a bit of trouble with this flag, and have to double back. Yank coming in as well. Dangerous here for Boostin. Goober coming in, got the blocks. Oh boy.
That was exemplary by Tears, just playing it textbook. A great double block, Goober playing the boost perfectly, knows the gate is going to be there to protect him from the follow-up return, and all of a sudden this is once again a 2-cap lead, and Tears has looked in complete control of this game from start to finish so far.
Yank going to get returned, Intercess as well. 45 seconds to go, a chance for one team to get at least 1 or 2 more caps here, but right now with this anti-read, it's going to be hard, but a great backboard here for JJ Poole. JJ Poole looking to bring it to a 1-cap game yet again. He's got a bomb as well. Intercess hits it. Is it too soon? No, and he's got the blocks. There's the cap, and now yet again a 1-cap game, 24 seconds to go. Viles looking to tie it up. Can he tie it up before we get to halftime? Coming in quick past 1, and Big Bird getting the return. JJ Poole with the chance though as well.
He's going to be patient, the typical JJ Poole move. Wait for the boost, wait for the team to make a mistake, the opponents, and he squeaks past 1. Can he squeak past 2? Now it's Yank's turn. 5 seconds left. He's coming in, and he gets the gate, and he's able to secure that cap, extend the lead to 2 once again as we finish half number 1, 6-4 in favor of Tears, and what looked like a potential tying play ended up going right the other way, and Tears takes a commanding lead into half number 2.
I think Boostin's going to want to watch that last 30 seconds again. They were committing their players all to get that get the cap and block, but there was not enough time left for them to be able to do that. Tears were able to get out of base, get past everyone, and get that quick counter cap. You got to give credit to, I think it was either Big Bird or Goober, who were down at the bottom right of the map, blocking the only chance Boostin Dynamo had to get into base and get that flag out, or at least get some offensive D positioning. But yeah, you commit all those players to try to block and open up the capping opportunity. It backfires on you, and that's a cap that I'm sure they wish they could take back.
Yeah, you can say that again. It's on a play like that, if you're JJ Poole and if you're the blockers in base for Boostin, you got 17 seconds left on the clock. In a position like that, either you push straight in and send someone to regrab, or you wait, keep 3 in base, and make the play when there's not enough time for the other team to cap if you mess up. They did neither of those things. They kept 3 in base, and they pushed right into base with a good 15 seconds left on the clock, and that left enough time for Yank to capture the flag with all of, 2 seconds left on the clock. Had he just delayed an extra 1 or 2 seconds on that boost, JJ Poole would have been able to prevent Yank from coming good on that cap at the very end, and that could be the game changer potentially in this half number 2. Being down by 2 caps is a tough mountain to climb, especially against a team like Tears.
And you mentioned it before, JJ Poole's patented move, just sit on the boost, wait for things to develop, wait for the right time to take that boost. Just didn't wait long enough on that one.
Yeah, it's I like his analytical approach to the game. A lot of players are run and gun. If you look at Goober, he's the prime example. Guys like Goober and Warriors, who are very showy, very flashy. They come in, they pull a couple moves, maybe it works 1 time out of 10, but they have the flag so often that 1 time out of 10 turns into a 75 cap season, a 10 cap game last week, a 6 cap half this week. Whereas JJ Poole is more the kind of guy who's going to sit back, wait for his opportunities to show up, and try to seize them as they come. Now, against a team like Tears, that's going to be hard because Tears is such a well-organized team. And you were mentioning it earlier, in the last play, something that we weren't looking at. We were paying attention to Yank, but you were paying attention to the blocks in the bottom right from, I believe you said it was Big Bird and Goober, or maybe it was Big Bird and Spjork.
One of the two, yeah.
Those guys, those are the kinds of plays that you see on a team that has extreme cohesion. Every cylinder is firing at its maximum revolution. And it's not the kind of play that you see from teams that are typically well-balanced, where they'll have good team chemistry but no standout players, no one who's going to be the flashy player. This team has both. They've got guys like Goober who can come in and pull 3 or 4 moves, get into base and get that nifty cap. And they have all the other players who are willing to make those unheralded plays, make those plays that count and just open up the lanes, open up the capping opportunities. And that right there is something that you don't see many teams have both of those elements.
It's been proven to work out well for them so far this evening, but yet again, it's still a close match. Only 2 caps separate the 2 teams with 9 minutes of play to go and a round of power-ups around the corner. Anything could happen here, and Boostin looking for some gratuitous power-ups here and not going to get either of them. A couple of rolling bombs to fend with in base, gonna increase the chaos. A bomb gets defused as well, and now it's the tale of the flag carriers. Which team can carry this flag better?
I have my money on Spjork right now. JJ Poole is a good flag carrier, don't get me wrong, but Spjork has been on fire this season, and just as I say that, Spjork gets returned, and JJ Poole is the one who's in base, potentially ready to cap, but Goober says no thank you, and comes into his base before Viles savagely gets rid of him. Dispatches of Goober.
Yank dispatching JJ Poole with that gate, and now Big Bird has some blocks here from Spjork and trying to pull Juke off. He's done it, but Intercess staying alive, and now the tables have turned, and wow, almost getting the nub step. Yank going to be out past a couple. There's a good gate here from CCJ's mom, and there it is as Tears extending the lead to 3 now. Very good teamwork there, and unfortunate gate really opened that cap up.
This is the kind of play that good teams tend to try to avoid, is devolving when they know that there's a short cap, and CCJ's mom comes in for a second, right in the nick of time. That was perfect timing. Flag gets returned just as he's flying past it, and now it's a 4 cap lead with 7.5 minutes to go. What I was getting at is that teams at the top level, when they know a cap's happening, they don't bother pushing to the very end, even if they know they can't make it, and that's something that you saw right there. Both Boostin players pushing harder than they had to, and both get returned in the gate, and that sets up a nice regrab chain for Tears to come in and secure a 2nd straight cap. We saw the same thing happen to Red Hot Chili Poppers last week against Ghost Boosters. they would get flustered. They'd give up a cap and they would try to overextend themselves to return. It would not work out because at the top level, if you see caps not working out, it just won't work out. And through overextending themselves, they would end up opening up a lane for the opponents to grab a second straight cap. And it looks like Tears almost had a chance of their own, but JJ Poole catches them unaware on the putt battle, and JJ Poole refusing to let me drink my shot with a showboat. Now Stan is going to try. Oh man, Stan had the button and he doesn't use the button. It ends up costing him as CCGA's mom comes in for a return. Now this is down to a 3-cap game, but this is a really tough mountain to climb.
Yeah, 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Trying to make it 2-cap game. JJ Poole with the flag, and it looks like he's going to go for the kiss. And now Big Bird is back on anti-re, and this is looking dangerous here for Boostin. Goober trying to boost in and get the wraparound, cap around, not going to pull it off, and but still has a couple blocks in base and a few boosts to play around with, and a bomb.
Oh
wow.
My God! Goober absolutely schools the offensive defense, and if there's one map where you can cap 2v3 on OD, it's Emerald. He chains the boost, he chains the bombs, and he absolutely destroys Boostin to recapture a 4-cap lead. And with 5 minutes 56 seconds remaining, what do Intercess and the gang have to do to get back into this? It seems every move they have, Tears just outplays them.
Using every paint color in the palette there to get that cap. Now Viles coming in, and yes, there he goes. Viles is going to make it a 3-cap game, looking to make it a 2. JJ Poole, he's got the blocks, he's got the cap, and we're back to a 2-cap game. Goober says, let's slow this down. That's enough of that, and gets that return. But it looked like Boostin even could have strung a 3rd cap onto that if it weren't for Goober.
Man, Yank is coming in, and Viles chooses not to go for the boost, decides against it afterwards. He figures that boost might be a good tool for returning. And now he goes for an unwise grab. It's going to lead to a cap. Once again, Flaccid giving Boostin Dynamo a lot of trouble, and it ends up costing them. With 5 minutes left, we're back to a 3-cap game, and Tears has not left the lead since taking it in half number 1.
I've got to say, bad decision making at the critical times, but Tears is going to capitalize on that every single time. We're seeing these crucial mistakes, and it's just a subtle one, but boy, Tears is going to take advantage of that.
Intercess takes the juke juice on offense, not by his own volition, but he does it in the end anyway. Viles with a great support button, and now we're back to a 3v2 situation going the other way. Boostin Dynamo gets returned on the gate. That it does not bode well. JJ Poole going to try to get rid of Goober. Goober foolishly staying there, and the bomb comes in the clutch. Intercess comes in, cuts the lead down back to 2. But once again, Boostin Dynamo not able to channel these plays and chain them together. We're starting to see a lot of plays decomposing due to lack of patience or lack of awareness from Boostin Dynamo. And what could potentially be a tie game, if not for a bit more caution from Boostin, is still a 2-cap game.
And again, it was Goober who got that gate. It was actually the same gate, that upper gate. Goober really slowing these down. If it was any other team or any other player, they may have turned this into a couple series of chain caps.
Now Stan and Intercess vying for that power-up. Intercess decides to take it. It's a juke juice, and now both pups are sufficiently delayed that you can only send one player, and he'll be able to get it now. Unfortunately for Boostin, Stan spikes himself on regrab. Intercess able to secure the solo return. Now JJ Poole is going to try to make something happen. Can Viles get the blocks in? He can, but Stan, can he get the return? He can! Yes! And now Viles and Stan have the 2v1 blocks. Spjork getting the sandwich, and he gets the return. Spjork's offensive defense is off the charts as he's able to annihilate this play and keep his team in the lead.
Oh my God, he's trying to drive it home too and get a cap out of that as well. Can't quite pull it off. 3 minutes ago, 2 caps, and JJ Poole being slippery, but it didn't last for too long. Now Goober looking to extend the lead to 3 yet again, and let's see if he can do it. He's got some boosts, being very creative. But no, Intercess out with the rolling bomb. Viles has to do what he can here. Yes, brilliant job by Viles. And now it's a 1-cap game. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go.
Get the exclamation point Boostins in chat if you want to give them your energy. This is do or die. This could be the last 2.5 minutes of their season, and they only have 1 minute or 1 cap to make up to get back into this. This is excellent, and Intercess, of course. Who else but Intercess to get his team back within reach?
And JJ Poole, no, CJ's mom getting a return. Here we go. Viles with the flag, looking to tie it up. He's got the boost. He's got his patience, but he's got, oh no, bad pack.
He's got a bad
finding.
case of the Spjorks. That's what he's got right now. Spjork has been stellar on offensive defense throughout both games. We're talking about Goober, the flashy capper, but none of these caps would have happened. And this game could actually be going the other way right now, if not for Spjork's fantastic offensive defensive play.
Critical power-up rounds here. We've got 6 players fighting for that top power-up. And it's a rolling bomb, and it's an explosive one indeed.
JJ Poole gets absolutely... Oh my god, this is really good for Boostin. But Goober absolutely destroys JJ Poole. Now Intercept's got a tag throw. He's taking it on offense. Goober gets double-teamed by JJ and Stan. And Viles unable to get a grab in. Intercept decides to do it all himself. He's past 4. Intercept is past 4. A minute and a half left, and Intercept has tied it.
The Tech Pro heard round the world here. Intercept tying it up for his team and proving that they have a bit of fight left in them. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, and we'll be headed to overtime if there's not yet another cap scored here. A surprising turn of events. JJ Poole says no overtime for you. Taking the flag into base, and Goober going to end up with a last second kiss. 1 minute to go, and looks like, watch out, Tears may take it back.
Time to kiss. If you're Viles, you do not want to be taking risks here, but just a second, maybe it's time to cap. Viles takes the lead with 53 seconds left. Viles somehow gets his team in the driver's seat, and this has been a complete turn of events. Viles just brings his team back into the lead, and with all but 41 seconds left, it looks like Boostin Dynamo has set themselves up to take this series to Game 3.
And what set up that cap was JJ Poole with a monster boost block, pushing the defenders out of the way by maybe 6 tiles, and that opened up an easy cap here. A very prominent play here, and even if they tie it up, let's see if they can do it. 15 seconds to go. CJ's mom in base. Got 3 people to contend against. 14 seconds to go. Looking to try to take this to overtime and extend it further and maybe not have to play the third map. But so far, not looking good. And Intercest is the final exclamation point.
Seals the deal with the backward snipe that could have gone absolutely wrong, but he knew what he was doing. The captain on defense, 16 returns. On offense, gets the hat trick. He wills his team to victory on Emerald, and we are going to a Game 3.
I don't know how many people saw this coming. Holy cow. Boostin came in, and now we're tied. 1 win apiece, and it's a fresh blank slate to go into this third game. And we get to see that, what is the third map again?
Jardum. Now, Tears falling apart in the second half. It looked like they had it in the bag at 1 point, at 2 points actually. They had a 4-cap lead, and Boostin Dynamo somehow caps 5 times in a row and gets their team back into this and back into the challenge, or the, I don't know. I'm lost my train of thought. I guess my point is that in the pregame, you and I were both talking about these teams, and you predicted Tears would take this matchup. I predicted Boostin would, and here we are. After 2 games, both teams have managed to take 1 game off the other. We're going to need a Game 3 to separate them. Now, guys, I'd love to hear what you think, and I'd also love to hear what you think, Ron. What do you think will be the difference maker on Jardum?
Let's see, difference maker on Jardum. It's a good question. I would say the defenses. I think
good call.
Yeah, we've seen the offenses kind of stealing the show. I know you've called out Big Bird and Intercest, but really they've been playing a supporting role in much of the first 2 games. And I think that's going to change on Jardum.
I'm not expecting much prevent on Jardum, but I can see the defense is coming up really huge in terms of clutch returns and potentially even blocking plays. We saw last time Tears played Jardum, they played against Center of Attention. Once again, another one of those maps where they're playing against a top team, and they ended up winning on Jardum against Center of Attention, who finished 2nd in the league. And a couple of these plays were really good by players like Big Bird and Yank, the defenders. One that comes to mind is Yank using the team boost to boost a player away from the flag and secure the open lane for his team to come in for an easy cap. Those are the kinds of next level plays that we're going to have to see from these defenses if we want to have a chance at having a competitive game. On the other hand, you've got players like Intercets, who last time he played Jardum, he got a triple juke within 4 tiles of the flag against, was it the London Wads in week 1? And he was able to nub step 3 players to get the flag in. So I'm going to expect a lot of action.
Yeah, if the previous 2 games has had anything to say, even though it looked like Tears was going to win it, it was close both games, and I think we're in for a close third game. I don't see any reason for that to switch. But
you know what? I'm calling a blowout. I'm calling this game is going to be an 8-cap game. It's going to be an 8-cap game. And I'm willing to
game on one team?
Chug the rest of my beer if this game ends with less than an 8-cap differential.
Wow. That's quite the bold prediction here. I'm going to take the under on that one for sure.
But you know what I really would like to see? A showboat.
Ooh. I'm pouring the glass just in case it happens.
My glass has been poured this whole time. I feel like I should just start sipping on it because these teams have had the chance to showboat. They haven't done it yet. And it looks like we're going to be waiting a bit here. It seems like teams might be looking for a sub, but I personally don't see any subs coming in here. You look at the Tiers roster, every single player has played all 360 minutes of the season. Unless there's a lag issue, those 4 are going to keep playing. As for Boostin, these guys not only have played this season together, they play in US contenders together, and for most of these guys who are Boostin alums, they've played probably the last 20 seasons together, and will probably play the next 20 seasons together. That's just the Boostin way.
Now, I think what I was surprised about is how many... There's been a couple times tonight we've seen teams start devolving, right? And you get flustered. We've seen it more from Boostin, I think. They can get flustered, and it's hard for them to recover. But then, yet again, Boostin has started the string caps. Goober has done a good job at really preventing that string from establishing himself, especially in the second game. In the first game, Boostin had that, to start things off, that 3-cap string. But Goober's been stepping up and getting those gates in that second game to prevent what could have been at least 2 more strings of caps. But we're seeing a lot of these caps come clustered.
Yeah, it's something that you see from most teams, I'd say. It's not 1 cap at a time, not 2 caps, but 3 or 4 sometimes. And a lot of it is due to lack of composure. We were talking about this in the last half. Something we saw with most boosters taking advantage of it against the favored Red Hot Chili Poppers, and it's part of the reason they were able to take out the #1 seed in the East, was that they were really good at catching the Red Hot Chili Poppers unaware and then making them pay for their mistakes, getting RHCP to overextend themselves on offense, not offensive defense, and then ending up with a great play in just a second. Goober coming in, he's got 2 blocks in base. He might have a third, but Spjork makes the wisest decision to come back into base, and Intercept is going to go for the little kiss here. Really smart play by the captain.
Monster block from JJ Poole there. That's going to set up what might be the first cap of the game, but Big Bird, wow, great job from Big Bird fighting that block from Intercess. Bomb coming up in the way, Intercess getting the return, and here we go. Viles just pushing for it, but didn't have any real estate and ran into the wall.
And we were talking in the pregame how the stars of the show on Boostin are the defenders. Once again, the defenders making the right plays, and the offensive players hesitant to push it in, and it ends up costing them as Viles is unable to get the first cap on the board, and now it looks like it might be going the other way. Both teams secure a juke juice, keeping things level there, both of them going offense, and now Intercess. Spjork past 3, Viles has to make a move, ideally a conservative move, as he is now juke past, and Spjork is going to come in, and the third kiss is the one to count. 3rd time's a charm for Boostin, and now Goober somehow manages to get past everyone and opens the scoring with just a pixel to spare. Tears once again in the lead.
And now looking to extend it even further. CJ's mom's got the Spjork with the team boost off the wall, got the blocks. This should be a cap, but no. Intercess turns it around. Goober's out of position off of that boost. What? He prevents the cap.
This is some back and forth action. Goober gets the beautiful save just after Intercess gets the beautiful save. This is why we love Jardum. I don't know about the teams and the players, but as viewers, this is an absolute beauty to watch. And JJ Poole is going to secure that juke juice and does well to get out of the way. Now he's going to wait for Intercess to come right back into the attack run. Hopefully they can level things up here. Shies away from the boost, but now it looks like Spjork gets a long-range return, and Yank is going the other way. A great play by Tears to keep the score at bay.
And a good kiss here for Boostin with that tag pro, but Goober is going to be able to get out, and now Intercess and base Stan with the anti-re. Looking dangerous here. Tears coming in, but Intercess trying to come out.
Intercess dodges both boosts. goes for the kiss. Smart move from the captain, and it looks like JJ Poole is going to try to come in. Comes right in. Big Bird whiffs on the snipe, something we don't see very often from this player. And now it looks like JJ, oh my god, Stan comes in. He's got the block. Can he force it in? He does! And all of a sudden, we were talking about this in the pregame. 2 quick caps, and Boostin Dynamo is now all of a sudden in the lead. Viles, can he get in the third? Not quite, but JJ Poole is keeping that cap train, regrab train going right as Big Bird is able to smartly dispatch of him with a great bomb into the spike.
Huge bomb from Big Bird to stop that train, and now Yank making intercept, and JJ Poole looks silly. Big Bird in base, and now intercept is out. And one thing about this map, it's back and forth, and you can just traverse the entire map within just a mere number of seconds. And it's tables have been turning quite a bit.
Tables have not stopped turning, actually, ever since game 1 on Rush. How the turn tables or something. And Viles just squeaks past Big Bird. He's got the moves. JJ Poole in the way, intercepts with a great snipe, but now all of a sudden Yank is coming out through the right, and it looks like Stan might be able to catch up.
He's got a boost. No, that's the other team boost. There's the kiss. But JJ Poole, wow, threading the needle here from CCJ's mom. It's all on Goober to stay alive, and he's able to pull it off for at least a second, long enough for Spjork to get on the regrab. And nice fly carrying skills here. We've got some power-ups coming up on both sides of the map.
And Stan kills everyone, goes for the juke juice. Now JJ Poole has to stay alive. Stan not only misses the flag, he misses the juke juice, and that's going to cost Boostin dearly as Tears is able to tie it up off of the misplay from Stan.
Bit embarrassing there, and it turns into a cap, and now Big Bird.
Does Big Bird have the big jukes? Intercess looks like he's got the big returns, and now Goober's coming in flag pro. The tag pro runs out, and Goober is going to come right around, and Goober finds a lane where there is none and takes the lead for Tears. Goober has been the standout player on offense so far.
And now Tears yet again on top, coming back from that deficit of 1 cap, I believe. And now Viles trying to take it and tie it up yet again. The bomb almost getting into the way. Viles holding the flag, intercept on anti-re Stan. CCJ's mom, Spjork, on anti-re as well. And we're seeing anti-re. I think you're going to see it a lot more on this map, being that it's so quick to get from side to side. You're going to see players committing themselves on a smaller map to anti-re a lot more often.
One thing I've loved from Tears, and probably one of the big reasons they've been so successful this year, is they've been playing anti-re nearly every single play on every single map. This started from minute number 1 on Rush. They were playing anti-re. It extended into Emerald, where it played really well for them until the very end, where they kind of got flustered and lost their composure. And they're doing it once again here, and it's no surprise that they're in the lead right now. CCGA's mom nearly gets an upstep in, and he almost gets the cap if not for a really timely return from Intercest.
Goober, yeah, he didn't have an angle there. The boost, the spikes got in his way there. CCJ's mom's got a bit of a boost again. It's the same mirror image. It's a replay of what we saw earlier. The exact same wraparound cap here, splitting, making that lane where it didn't exist. And now Tears has a 2-cap lead.
And Goober looks like he's going to get caught up by Viles, but Stan unable to get the blocks in. And something that's been costing Boostin is they haven't been able to get the blocks in time for their offensive players. And even when they have, the offense hasn't been trusting them. Now Big Bird and Goober securing the power for their teams. If I'm Viles right now, I'm trying to stay alive at all costs. And it looks like he's in a really bad position to stay alive, if not for a beautiful save from, I think it was Intercest, who saves him with a last-ditch boost. But it is too little too late, as it's now a 3-cap game for the defending Super Bowl appearance laureates, or nominators, whatever you want to call them. They made the Super Bowl last season, and this is their last chance to make it this season, but 3 caps down with 13 minutes to go. It's not looking too good.
No, and Tears right now has the command, and can we get the same cap again? Almost.
What?
Wait, what? What was that all about? I wonder if that was sticky keys or just misread. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
He had the cap.
Spjork could have extended the lead to 4, and either through lag or sticky keys or just a brain fart, ends up missing the flag tile entirely, goes the wrong direction. And if this is a 1-cap game to end the game, I would be feeling really bad if I were Spjork.
Just so you know, I did talk with Ank, and sticky keys is a feature, not a bug.
Yes, Spjork can attest to that, and Viles is coming right in, and he gets read like a book by Spjork. Spjork, once again, with a great offensive defense play. He might be one of the best offensive defensive players in the league right now, and he's shown it tonight with these plays. JJ Poole going to try to find a lane, but he is no Goober, and he gets returned, maybe even by Goober himself, by the man, the myth, the legend, and Viles is going to come in. He's going to have the angle, and he cuts the lead down to 2 after narrowly squeaking past York on those team tiles.
And yet again, we see Big Bird closing off the chain cap opportunity. He's there for his team. Or sorry, that's Goober that usually does that, but I guess Big Bird can do it too.
If he can do it, then his teammates can do it. This has been the story of their team the entire season.
Power-ups coming up, and CCGA's mom is going to grab a tag pro here for Tears. Looking very dangerous for Boostin. Intercessed with this Juke Juice, and he's going to chase with it. Got the return. Big Bird as well. Viles coming in, and somehow Boostin has a chance at capping here, even though they have a pretty big power-up disadvantage.
Yeah. And speaking of power-up disadvantage, they've only captured 6 of the 16 power-ups that have shown up on the map so far. They're going to have to step it up if they want to get back into this.
2 cap deficit, 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. This is the first half of the final game of the matchup this evening. Winner will be going to the Super Bowl, so the stakes are about as high as you can get here. Winning the Super Bowl is nice, but at least getting to play in the Super Bowl, that's pretty important. And right now, Boostin has got to be starting to execute in these critical times. And let's see if they can pull it off. Goober is going to somehow dance around. Yes, there it is. Boostin getting the cap. And a bit of gratuitous timing there. CCJ's mom getting contained as well. Viles coming in, and Yank going to come out with this flag and trying to decide if they want to kiss.
Both players are not sure if they want the kiss or not. You can see they're trying to play the old bull routine, try to bait the other team into kissing. They're like, wait a second, I don't want to kiss. With the tag pro, it keeps things a bit more complicated, and Tears is going to be able to play it properly. Big Bird in base uses it as a screen, but all of a sudden the tag pro is gone. Intercess and Viles have the 2v2 blocks. Stan ends up getting returned, and JJ Poole getting anti-re-grabbed by Big Bird, another patented Tears anti-re, and now Goober coming the other way. It looks like he's going to be able to cap it. And Intercess somehow saves it just in time. Now things are going the other way. Intercess gets returned. Stan has to stay conservative here. You do not want to get nub-stepped in this environment.
3, 2,
Final seconds ticking off the clock, and Tears yet again with the lead, but yet again a very slim lead, 1 cap lead going into the second half of the game 3.
And once again, Intercess putting up a monster amount of returns, 21 returns for the captain. Yank getting another cap, and I have to say, Tears has been looking like an absolute unit right now. All of their players are playing all the right moves. Sure, it's a 1 cap game, it could go either way, but right now, despite me thinking JJ Poole, Intercess, Viles, and Stan would be making it through in the pregame, right now things are looking pretty good if you're Tears. They've been playing their power-ups properly, and they're capitalizing on nearly every mistake Boostin is making. And that makes it hard for Boostin, because make a single mistake, you're going to pay. Now, if you're Intercessed, you've been to the Super Bowl twice before. Not only twice before, the last 2 seasons you were in the Super Bowl. I know you're a big fan of the pep talks, Ron. What do you think you should be telling this team right now?
Don't make mistakes. I think that's been the biggest trouble for Boostin right now, is anytime they make any little mistake, Tears is going to capitalize on it. So don't make those mistakes, play smart, and start getting those cap trains going too.
And this is one of those maps where cap trains are so easy. You were talking about it earlier, how you can get from flag to flag in about 3 seconds, maybe 2 seconds flat. And we were seeing it in other maps, Emerald to a lesser extent, and even perhaps Rush. But these caps and cap trains come from teams flacciding after caps happen, teams spiking themselves, teams trying too hard to prevent the cap and dying in the process, and that just keeps opening up more lanes for the chain caps to come in, and that's how a game can get out of control really quickly. This matchup could have been closed off after 2 games if Tears hadn't collapsed into a 5 cap train from Boostin Dynamo, and things are happening kind of like this. The other way around, we saw Tears, I think, come in for 3 straight caps against Boostin right now in Jardem, just due to plays, Boostin players trying too hard. So right now, forget about trying too hard. Just play smart, play the way your team has been playing all season long, stick to the game plan, don't try to be the hero, and unless your name's Intercess, then you're born the hero. Just embrace it, and hope for the best going into this.
So 1 cap deficit, Boostin is got to be used to this at this point. They've been playing from behind pretty much the entire evening, but not by much. And so we're going to have ourselves a half here. Both teams fighting for the privilege of playing in this season 14 Super Bowl.
Winner takes all, loser goes home. This is going to be a rough night for half of these players. Question is, which half? Guys in chat, I'd love to hear, who do you guys think is going to make it to the Super Bowl? My money, as I said, is probably on Tears, but I'd love to see the underdog. 4th seed, Boostin Dynamo make it in, and Spjork once again saves the day. Wait, no, nearly caps, and now Goober is going to try to come in, and JJ Poole saves the day. And some good composure from Boostin Dynamo not to get too flustered there, and to keep their players in position to prevent the cap from coming in and extending the lead to 2. An Intercest with a long-range bullet.
Nice snipe from behind there from Intercest, solo return, and using these boosts to get around the map, and now he doesn't have a boost and kind of taking his time. I like that, though.
He's waiting for the power-ups. I like the thinking. He's going to wait for the team to get power-ups, and Yank grabs the Juke Juice, and it's going to be enough to boost Viles out. Yank with the standout defensive play, and that could be enough. Extends the lead to 2.
Brilliant boost block here from Yank, getting Viles out of position, and now watch out. Looks like CCJ's mom almost getting the cap there, but not going to happen.
No more grabs. Goober is going to try to juke. He's able to get past Viles once, but not twice, as Boostin Dynamo was able to secure a reset here, and this could be key for them.
Bombs are coming up too. Intercest seems to know that and positioning himself for it, as is JJ Poole, and no, not going to open up a capping opportunity there. And we're seeing some desperate grabs here from Boostin. They need to get this flag out of base.
Goober once again uses the bomb perfectly. He's been the best player at grabbing in this map, and it's no coincidence that he also has the most caps. This guy is a grabbing machine, and at this level of play, grabbing is half the way to capping. A lot of players in the lower leagues will be able to grab and hold the flag forever, but against top defenders like Intercest and Stan, grabbing is probably the hardest part of playing offense. And Intercest trying the next level play, boosting his teammate into base, but it doesn't work out, and Viles goes for the solo, misses, and Goober makes his way out of base. Smart kiss from Intercest. Now Spjork is going the other way. JJ Poole, will he go for a kiss this time around? It looks like he doesn't want to, and Spjork is forced to take a lap.
Return for cap for at least a second. Intercest with another monster snipe. JJ Poole going to kiss. And I like it because we got some people spawning in base, although the fueling is mutual here on both sides of the map. Big Bird, got to be careful, as does Viles. This is anyone's cap.
Love is in the air tonight. We've seen 5 kisses in the span of 30 seconds. And perhaps it's Valentine's Day. Perhaps it's something else. We were talking about kissing cousins. The guy's name is Intercest. You can never be too careful. And it seems like the kisses have stopped here, as Viles is able to get a nice little reach around return. Intercest waiting on that tag throw, secures it, and this could be key for Boostin.
Gonna force Big Bird to come back, and now Big Bird's in a spot to make a play here. Intercest got one tag. Watch out, Viles! Oh my goodness! Viles almost getting in the way, looking for a kiss here, and Yank does not want that. He's got the juke juice. Intercest trying yet again, and now Yank has no choice but to be forced into that kiss, a non-consensual kiss here, and Goober out with the flag, looking for the cap. He's got a few players to beat.
Now we're back to the reset. Intercest past 3. He's got the blocks. He's got the blocks. And it is back to a 1-cap game. Intercest carrying his team on his back. 9 tags, 1 cap this half. That is enough for Boostin to be within reach.
And now JJ Poole looking to tie it up, and he's got it up the corner, and there it is. The Boostin is still in it. They still have a chance to play in the Super Bowl with this tying cap 6 minutes ago, and it is 6-6.
Viles goes for the grab, perhaps unwise, and it is unwise. JJ Poole gets aggressive. Spjork is able to round him and goes in for the cap. Intercest goes flag throw, unbeknownst to what he wanted to do. And now Stan is going to come out, and he has to stay alive. JJ Poole catches up just in time. Now Stan could come in, but Goober's got the angle, and Stan gets returned just in the nick of time by Goober. But JJ Poole's coming in, and JJ Poole just comes right back. These are 1-2 punches. Both teams are getting on the board in quick succession.
Intercest with a standout boost block there to open up that cap. Unbelievable play from Intercess. Now Vials with the split.
No way.
Coming in, trying to pull off the jingle, jangle, dingle, dangle. Let's see if he can do it. He's got the blocks. He's got the corner, but he doesn't have the angle and gonna get returned here. And oh my goodness, do we have ourselves a game? 7-7, 5 minutes to go.
This is something that we were talking about before, but Tears' anti-regrab has been key to stopping these cap trains. You're seeing a lot of regrab chains, but Tears has been really responsible with their grabs in base. And this is the kind of play that can be the difference between a 1-cap game and a 5-cap game. I was talking about this being an 8-cap differential. This looks anything but a blowout, as both teams are in a deadlock with 4 minutes 40 seconds left.
Vials with the boost, and can he get the split?
Oh,
He can,
go for
but
the kiss,
not
go
the cap.
for the kiss. There you go.
Yes.
You got to reset. Once again, Goober playing fantastic anti-regrab, and Big Bird's going to try to pull some moves this time, and he nearly gets it split.
Can't quite pull it off, and it looks like we've got 420 Blaze It here on the map as Stan and Goober in base fighting it off. JJ Poole waiting for this boost, and clearly does not have timers on, misses it by a millisecond.
And yeah, that's gonna be a fun talking point. I'm sure no one will blow that one up. JJ Poole with a nice little pump fake. Unfortunately for him, Yank is perfectly positioned and now secures attack row. Viles is gonna have to grab and get out quick. No bomb usage from Tears. Interesting decision there. Goober decides to go for the boost, and Intercess has to grab and get out. Beautiful play by Intercess. Now it's a return for cap situation. JJ Poole misses the return. Spjork with another great, I hesitate to call this offensive defense, but he survives long enough to save the cap. This guy saved more caps than any player has scored tonight. If anything, he's probably been the MVP.
Just to set the stage here, guys, 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go, and the winner of this game will be going to the Super Bowl. The stakes are high here. We have ourselves a tie game, and Boostin is fighting for it. CCJ's mom here with the solo contain, very good contain, and look at this. Tie game, Stan trying to get out of base, JJ Poole as well. Back and forth, it's anyone's game.
This is coming down to the wire. Tie game with all of 3 minutes left. The next power-up round could be key. It's going to be a rolling bomb defused for Yank. Inter is going to secure his side's power-up. It's a tag throw, but Stan gets a long-range snipe, and all of a sudden, Spjork is coming in. Viles does a great job containing. JJ Poole getting the grab, and this is going the other way. It's a tag throw lead. Intercess leading JJ Poole into base, taking the late lead for Boostin Dynamo. Going into this last 2.5 minutes, and Boostin all of a sudden in the driver's seat.
Unbelievable turn of events, a fortuitous tag pro here for Intercess, and now they're going to try to get another one. Boostin is now poised to move on to the Super Bowl, and what could be a surprising upset here. 1-cap lead, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Tears says not so fast, and looks like Spjork coming in with the flag. They've got the bomb for the chaos, but unfortunately it blasts him to the other side of the map. 2 minutes to go. Time keeps ticking on, and Boostin right now is positioned, but not so fast.
Intercess blocked out. We got 3-on-3 blocks in base. JJ Poole is going to have to rush back. Yank's got the tag throw. This could be key.
And now Goober coming in, and this is dangerous. Viles needs to stay alive. Can he do it? No! And now Tears has tied it up again, looking to extend it further. We've got Spirit coming in with the flag, looking to take the lead for his team and push them to the Super Bowl. Oh my goodness, he takes the leap of faith, and can he still turn it into a cap? No, Intercess at the last second prevents it. 1 minute, 30 seconds to go.
Goober
this is anyone's game.
Goober's got the double jukes, he's got the split. And now CCGA's mom, Spjork pass too. He's going to use the boost. Inter gets ahead. Can he go for the wraparound? He's got the corner, but he doesn't have the cap. And with a minute left, this is still a tie game.
Looks like we could be headed to overtime, but I think either of these teams would love to get just one more cap and secure the Super Bowl appearance for their team. JJ Poole using this bomb. Goober with a long-range boost. Let's see if he can pull anything off with it. Yes, it sets up Spjork with the flag. Here he is coming in with the flag, but can't quite pull it off.
Big Bird's got the last tag throw of the game, but is it too little too late? Stan, go for the return. Go for the return, Stan. At this point, it's a bit too late. Stick to regrab, and Boostin is going to have to be careful here. Get the flag and stay safe. Tears coming in. Goober's got the juke, but he gets returned right in the nick of time. And a spike from Spjork could be the deciding factor here as both teams look to be headed to overtime. Intercess currently has more tags than the rest of his team combined. carrying Boostin Dynamo into a tie game late here, 20 seconds left. Goober's got the flag. He gets returned. CCGA's mom with the regrab.
He's got the boost.
He's boosting in. He's got the
Oh my goodness.
Is it
A couple flaccets. Unbelievable. But Stan coming in as well. And we have ourselves an overtime. What a brilliant series of events. It looked like for sure that Tears was going to be stealing this one. But somehow Boostin comes in and brings us to one of the most exciting overtimes you've seen all season.
Back and forth again. Stan steals the tie from the jaws of defeat. And these teams are going to overtime in what, as you said, has to be the most exciting finish to an MLTP Foci 4 I've ever seen.
Holy cow, that was just back and forth, and it looked like Tears might yet again steal it at the last second, stepping up to the plate, but Boostin Dynamo gets past the entire team, and now we have ourselves an overtime. Holy cow, what an exciting turn of events.
Shades of Murballs versus Holden Gate back in Season 9. Probably the most entertaining Foci 4 matchup up to now. This one's giving it a run for its money. First, a win from Tears on Rush. Second, a comeback win from Boostin Dynamo on Emerald. We are headed to an overtime for the ages.
Now, for those of us following along at home, what are their overtime rules?
Overtime rules is it's played on Jump Cup, actually. This is a Foci 4 exclusive, only on ShotCallers.
This is true, but no, actually, 2 5-minute halves? Is that what we're looking at here?
I believe so, yeah. We're going to be playing one 5-minute half, followed by another 5-minute half. None of them are sudden death, so we will be playing another 10 minutes of Tag Pro, and at the end of that, if both teams are tied, then we go to Jump Cup. No, actually, we just keep doing this forever. Until the commentators' voices die completely.
It could happen.
And then we get fired from work
voice
tomorrow because we can't actually talk.
I'm not kidding. I'm halfway to losing my voice after that half.
yeah, it's rare. Like, I mean, I'm not used to screaming this much, but you're Ron Sponson. The fact that your voice is used up is a testament to how exciting this matchup has been so far.
And it's been like that all game. All evening. We've seen a close game throughout games, even though that Tears has been for the majority of the time they've held the lead. It's still only been a narrow lead that they've held.
It's it's been one that's impossible to predict. Both teams have been getting late caps, last gas plays. When you think that they're out of it, they're in. When you think they're in, they miss. One play that comes to mind is Spjork's cap that turned out not to be a cap. He might end up biting himself for missing that, but only time will tell. Who are you rooting for?
I don't know. Like I said, I think Tears is probably going to win it, but I'd love to see the upset. And Boostin has proven they've got the fight. They've got the veteran players. I could see either one of them winning it. I'm still going to keep my money on Tears. I can't change my bet. I think they're going to win it.
It's certainly up for grabs. I don't think anyone here can predict the future. If you can, please PM me. I have a few questions for you. But outside of this, I have to highlight Stan's last gas play. The guy, we've been railing on him a bit. He's missed a few boosts here and there. He's missed a few contains, but he's been overall quite solid this entire matchup. And he showed up when his team needed him most. That's the kind of play that you need from a veteran like Stan, that when it counts the most, he's there to bail your team out. And he did just that. When it looked like his team was down and out, going down by a cap with 9 seconds left, he had that grab and he had that pixel perfect juke to get into base. Now, speaking of into base, Spjork is coming in. He's got a nice block from Big Bird. He's going to try to use the boost to his advantage. He decides to dangle Intercess, and now Intercess out of position. So is Viles. Viles manages to get the last second tag, and Stan sticking strong to that anti-regrab. This is the difference between half number 1 Boostin and half number 5 Boostin. Intercess coming in with a block from Stan, who decided to stand his ground on that anti-regrab and create the opportunity for his team. And Stan, once again, forces his team into a kiss. As you would call it, non-consensual kiss, and this is a non-consensual cap by Tears. Spjork coming in, takes the lead, and all of a sudden, Tears is in a familiar position in the driver's seat.
And not a surprise to many, Tears is going to get the first cap of the game here, and we're seeing a repeating pattern throughout the evening. And first round of power-ups here, Boostin picking up a Tag Pro. They weren't seeing too many of those to start things off. Let's see if they can turn this into a cap. Big Bird trying to sneak in from behind, but not going to fool
Start
Viles.
chasing, JJ Poole. Start chasing.
Viles doing a great job at protecting Stan. Yes, turns into a cap. Some fortuitous timing on that one. And now Boostin ties it up, and looking to take the lead here is JJ Poole, but he gets returned.
Man, great play from the Tag Pro. It's a mistake we saw Boostin make earlier in the game where they had an anti-regrab, but they didn't have two chasers. They changed that around this time. Instead of an anti-re, they had a flag with a Tag Pro protection on re, and they played it perfectly, got the return right in the nick of time, and are able to tie this game up early.
And now Goober with the flag, trying for the wraparound, cap-around, can't quite pull it off. JJ Poole getting returned. CCJ's mom coming in. Spjork looking to get the cap. Yeah, I guess he didn't have it, but it sure looked like he might have.
Stan with a very savvy kiss there. Takes the kiss when his team needs it, and Goober unable to grab with the rolling bomb. Unwise kiss, as both teams now have a rolling bomb. I suppose Unwise was maybe a bit of a hasty judgment, but Goober is one of the players you do not want with the rolling bomb as a flag carrier. Both of them get defused, and Viles now has the flag.
And now Goober gonna end up kissing. I'm not sure if that one was consensual or not. Big Bird with a very interesting boost angle, and almost...
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Big Bird playing the angles out there as if he were Pythagorean. This is the kind of play that you love to see from a defender. A defender who's capped over 20 times this season. He's no stranger to carrying that flag.
And Intercest, watch out for this boost. Yank didn't quite dial it in.
Intercest got the block. He's coming in. Takes the lead for Boostin Dynamo. JJ Poole coming in, going for the wraparound. Misses it. Boostin now takes the lead. Viles with the flag coming in. Does he have the blocks? Are they going to go for the regrab? They've got the power-ups coming up. They get the juke juice. Viles does not have the jukes, but he's got the regrab.
But Big Bird's got the rolling bomb, and the flag gets tagged once, but they did not double tap, and that could be a fatal mistake here. Boosting into base, trying to pull them before they get regrab off, but not in time here. Back and forth, 1 minute, 30 seconds to go, trying to get a cap. Tears trying to tie it up, but Viles with the flag, and he's going to get returned, as is Big Bird. No, he's not.
Viles looked like he had the angle off the wall, but he decides to go for the long range lap, and he looks like he might have the blocks too.
What?
He's playing the pixels, but Spjork, who else but Spjork to save the cap? And JJ Poole decides to go for the risky route. Stan goes for the kiss, and now it's going the other way. JJ Poole's got the blocks, Stan's got the blocks. Intercest trying to go around, but it's not going to happen, and Spjork's anti-regrab could be setting up a play the other way. It does! It's a tie game! Tears comes in the clutch and gets the tying cap.
Unbelievable, and looks like they're trying to take the lead. There's the Tag Pro and a rolling bomb in play here, but looks like it's going to help Boostin. Can they take the lead back? Yes, they can.
What? I can finally have my shot. Anyone following at home, please feel free to take your shot now. A knock 12 has been waiting long enough.
Very brilliant showboat here in what is still a very tense moment. Boostin with a one cap lead in the first half of overtime. And CCJ's mom with the moves.
Split. He's coming into base. He's coming in hot. Intercept's going to go for the solo, and he gets it. And now Goober has it all to do.
And now Goober with a boost. He's got a few people to get past the bomb. Oh my goodness, almost just threading the needle there. Couldn't quite pull it off. Now he's got 3 in base. Final seconds ticking off the clock as Boostin, for a surprise, is finally coming into the lead. Going into the second half of overtime. Winner of this one will be facing off in the Super Bowl. We've got ourselves a very exciting game here. And right now, Boostin looking like they've got the advantage.
This is a tough one. Once again, it's a one cap game. If Boostin cap 7 more times, then we can have this 8 cap differential I was predicting. Somehow, I don't see that happening.
It might not, but it might.
So for those unaware, this game is being played on Sphere right now. Both teams have suboptimal ping going into this, so no team has a ping advantage. All these players are in North America, so it's not like Ghost Boosters who had to play on Sphere tonight with Chertino from Europe. It keeps players on a level playing field, and we're seeing that right now. There is but a hair to split these teams apart. It's been closer than I've ever seen in a Foci 4 matchup. And I've seen some close ones.
And the thing that has surprised me is it's been close the entire evening. Even though Tears has been pushing forward and establishing these leads early, we're seeing Boostin step up and come from behind and start stringing them up. And right now, Boostin has the, let's see, they've got the 1-cap lead finally going into the second half. How do you think that's going to play into that? They're not used to that, at least this evening, coming in with a lead. How is that going to change things for them?
They're going to make sure that they concede 2 caps early so they can be back in their driver's seat of being behind, playing the underdog role. That's what I would tell my team if I were Inter right now. Just, sit back, let the other team cap twice, and then get those engines firing on all cylinders. Get yourself motivated. Maybe that's why I'm not a captain.
Maybe not. But we've seen this is going to be the 8th half of exciting action this evening, and it's still anyone's game. The winner of this game will be going to the Super Bowl. Boostin coming into this one with a 1-cap lead. Looks like we had a bit of a misfire, so just give us a few more seconds.
Yeah, this game better end soon because my neighbors are going to hate me. This has been nonstop. We've been seeing crazy plays on both ends of the field. This, especially on a map like this, overtime is fantastic. It's a beauty to watch. And one thing that I love about this map is that you can turtle. In base, you got that 90-degree angle with a couple tiles to spare. And of all these players, I haven't seen a single turtle come in, not only this matchup, but all season long. Now, Spjork is no stranger to the turtle. Back when he won his Super Bowl in Season 10, the winning play was on a turtle featuring Stojakovic, also known as Max W. Please cover your 2-year-old children's ears. He's called Skinny Chode. They were able to get that turtle in with the last 2 minutes. No, not 2 minutes, 20 seconds of the game. Got the turtle in against the Holy Rollers and were able to close off the game with that turtle. I would love to see this. Whatever team is in the lead right now, I would love to see them go for the turtle play. Bjork has done it before. If Tears have the 1-cap lead with 20 seconds to go, I certainly hope they go for the turtle.
I don't know that we've seen a turtle, at least on this stream this season, so that would be a first for us. CCJ's mom gets returned, a few flaccid as well, and now Goober's coming in trying to establish this tie game for Tears, but not going to be able to pull it off.
Inter says goes for the handoff instead. Probably the smart move. The guy's in the Ball of Fame after all. He knows what he's doing. And he goes for the nice little flick off the boost, and CCJ's mom gets the juggle. Oh my god, it looked like Boostin was delaying the return to let Inter spawn. All of a sudden it backfired, and Inter's got the bomb. Does he have the return? Goober, right in the nick of time, gets that flag.
JJ Poole may have hit that bomb a bit early, but he's out with the flag. Let's see what he can pull off with it. Not much. And now Goober getting returned. Intercess has a chance here to get out, but CCJ's mom going to come out with the flag.
Look at this. Boostin Dynamo, you were talking about how they played differently with the lead. They're playing absolutely differently. They're standing way back. They know they've only got 4 minutes left to play. Don't take any risks. Just always keep someone on anti-regrab. Don't push it. They've had to push it all game long. It must feel good to finally be able to stay back and just get a bit of a relaxing play in. And now Big Bird's out past 4. Stan is there.
Return for cap.
Oh my god, Big Bird misses the flag. And he gets it in the end. He ties the game up with Yank's tag throw expertly used to lead his teammate into base.
Tears proving they're still in this. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and we're tied 3-3. Lots of threes coming around, and it looks like they're trying to make it 4. Goober not going to be able to pull that one off, but we have ourselves a game right now, a tie game, and they're fighting for the Super Bowl. In 3 minutes, this may be decided.
Back to level pegging. Intercest got the perfect opportunity to grab. All 4 are spawning in base. Unfortunately, both Boostin players die in the process, and we're back to a double reset, waiting for power-ups. Goober is looking to catch Boostin Dynamo unaware, and in the process allows Spjork to get winning position on that power-up. JJ Poole gets it in the end, but it gets defused, and both players end up losing. Yank is able to pick up that juke juice, and that's going to be enough to make the difference for Tears.
Oh, wow. That bomb spawned and was used almost immediately. Going to be keeping it. Oh my goodness, turning it into a cap, and now Tears has the lead, and they're looking to extend it further. Watch for the devolving play here, and Tears right now has the momentum, and they're trying to string it, but not able to do it. Still have ourselves a 1-cap game. Boostin fighting on this one.
And Tears looks to get another one. They do. It's a 2-cap game with 2 minutes left. Intercess and the gang have got to make something happen quick. As I said, they're back in the position they like. They're 1 cap down. They have to make it happen. They have to get a single cap on the board if they want to make it to the super. Stan playing the anti-regrab. A bit unwise considering there's only 1 chaser. Now JJ's on anti. Viles is coming in. Intercess going to try to help out his teammate. Viles got the blocks. He's got the boosts. JJ Poole unfortunately gets out of position to get that juke juice. And now things are looking good for Tears. They secure the tag pro. They've got the tag pro lead. JJ Poole has to stay alive.
And he's got the juke juice though, so that should help him. But Goober's in base with his tag pro, and oh my goodness, Intercess tag teaming with Viles to get that return against the tag pro. And there's the return.
JJ
oh,
Poole,
wow!
Nubstep Goober! He gets the nubstep, and he's able to tie things up. And Intercess comes in with a minute and a half left. He's got the double blocks. He's got the corner boost. He's got the jukes, but does he have the boost? It looks like he does. He doesn't. He would have had the cap. He misses the boost. JJ Poole lands a snipe, and now Viles has to stay alive.
Can't quite pull it off. Intercess there. Yank boosting ahead. JJ Poole is out. He's got the block. There's the bomb. Pushing him backwards. He's going to have to double back. 1 minute to go, and their season rests on this play. JJ Poole with the flag coming into base. There's the block from Stan. Can he pull something? Can he pull the rabbit out of the hat? He's got the juke juice. CJ's mom in base. Goober pulling the flag out. A bunch of spikes, and unfortunately for JJ Poole, he's going to have to take a lap here. Oh, boy.
Intercess with just in the nick of time. He's going to come into base. He's going to try to boost around. Instead, he fools them. He's going to go for the bomb. Do it.
What?
Oh, my goodness. Yank in position. Stan is past 3. Does he have the blocks? Are they going to sandwich him? They do. And Tears in perfect position. 27 seconds left. 1 cap to tie it up. Boostin
Take your time.
has it all to gain and all to lose here. Stan misses it. Bjork with the perfect snipe and 18 seconds left. Do they have what it takes?
Big Bird in base with the anti-read to slow things down. 10 seconds to go. This is the time to shine. Viles with the flag. He's got a chance. He's setting up JJ Poole. This is it. Their season rests on this play. He's only got a few seconds, and unfortunately the bomb boosts him backwards, and Tears is on top and moving to the Super Bowl in what was a back and forth series of events. But yet again, going back to their first game form, Tears will be taking this one.
And that 3-cap flurry was enough to buoy them into victory. It looked like there might be a late-game surge from Boostin, but it was too little too late for Intercess and the gang, and Tears deservedly going to the Super Bowl, but not without a fight.
Whew. Wow. Gotta take a second to recover from that. That was just insane. Should we, are we going for an interview here?
Certainly seems like we are. We're going to see if we can get Captain Yank into the group with us. See if we can get a bit of a post-game chat. Give us a second here.
Sounds good. Very exciting victory for Tears, but you've got to give Boostin credit for putting up the fight. And it looked like there were several times throughout the evening, Tears looked like they were dominating, but then Boostin would step in and just start stringing the caps up. And even into this overtime, they came in to the half 2 of the overtime with the lead, and still we see Tears taking the victory even though they were down by 1. An impressive showing.
Now Yank, congratulations first off on making your first Super Bowl, but before I go for that, I have to say, going into overtime, down by 1 cap, into the potentially last 5 minutes of your season, what were you telling your team back in group?
I was just telling them that we've been there before. We have had a lot of close games just last week, so we just had to keep getting pubs, and we're the better team, so just stay strong and get the win.
Well, you did just that. I have to say there's been so many standout plays by all of your players tonight. Big Bird came up huge with a lot of blocks. Of course, Goober, there's not enough that can be said about this guy. Yep. He's a revelation this season. If anything, what surprised me most was Spjork's offensive-defensive plays. This guy has made at least 10 or 15 cap-saving plays tonight. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you're used to with Spjork, or was it a surprise thing about him today?
Yeah, I mean, Goober and Spjork both make really clutch OD plays. So, yeah, not surprised at all.
And how about you, going into this game, did you have any nerves Foci 4 against a team that's been there for the past 2 seasons straight. This has to be a bit stressful.
Yeah, it was definitely stressful. And you know, we definitely like to keep our games close. So and you know, overtime game 3. So I'm glad we beat the nerves, because in past seasons, season 12 we would not have been able to come back.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You guys have grown since then, and I know going into the season, you picked a lot of familiar players or familiar faces for this team. What made you go for Goober out of all the remaining? Because he's the only new fresh face to this Tears team, I believe.
Well, actually, it's the exact same team from season 12.
Was Goober on the team back then?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow. So I guess there's just familiar quantities, known quantities, and these guys, you guys proved that you had the chemistry to fight with the very best and come out on top.
Yeah, definitely. And I knew we were a good team season 12, and it was a definitely a stronger season, like talent wise. So if I could, it was kind of a dream scenario to be able to assemble the squad again, and luckily we made it work.
Now, looking forward to next week, the Super Bowl is looming on the horizon. We are looking at our very first all-Centra matchup. Now, as a Centra captain, one of the 4 of 16 this season, one of the 4 Centra captains, how does that make you feel to see both Centra teams being represented in the Super?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Centra was going to be strong this season, just, you know, based on the number of Centra Majors players that came back, and relative to the Radius players, yeah, I'm pretty excited. Central Potential is a really good team. Looking forward to it.
You played them once before. It was what was it, week 2 of the regular season? You ended up beating them, and once in regulation, once in overtime. In the playoffs, overtime wins just count as regular wins, as we've seen right now against Boostin. It's going to be a tough one, but if you guys play like you did tonight with the resilience that you had, I think you guys got a good chance at taking it all.
Yeah, well, we'll have to play better, but because they're a really good team. But we definitely can do it.
Well, Yank, once again, congratulations on the fantastic victory. We're all dead tired here. I can't imagine how tired you must be. Best of luck going into the Super Bowl, and of course, wish the rest of your team luck for us. Fantastic showing out there.
Cool, will do. Thanks a lot for streaming, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining us for the interview, and thanks for some very exciting games tonight. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and thank you to Pithy for running the stream, Liquid for the co-commentary, and also Pithy for jumping in with the Jump Cup stream support. If you guys like the stream, make sure to follow us on Twitch, where we find more entertaining and high-quality broadcasts at least one more week. Replays are available at youtube.com/Ron Sponson. I am Ron Sponson, and we'll see you all next week for the Super Bowl.